Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. It is Monday Night Football in the Championship tonight. A struggling Coventry take on playoff chasing West Brom. Despite sitting in 20th in the league, Coventry are still unbeaten at home. They have played 6 at the CBS Arena in the league, winning 2 against Middlesbrough and Blackburn, with 4 draws alongside their victories. For the travelling side, they have only 1 win so far on their travels against promotion hopefuls Preston, where they thumped them 4-0 back in late September. Coventry were a penalty shootout away from the Premier League last season, but this time around they are needing points to steer themselves away from the relegation zone. The Baggies have spent the last 2 seasons in this division, finishing 9th and 10th, but now under Carlos Corberán, will they be able to finish in a playoff position come the end of this season? So for the 69th meeting between Coventry and West Brom, will it be a 19th win for Coventry or a 34th win for West Brom? Just got through it because I knew that noise was coming. There we go. I knew that noise was coming, so I tried to get through that as quick as possible. But final championship game of this weekend. It is game week 14 in the championship, and after 13 games, Coventry, as I mentioned before, sit 20th. West Brom sit 9th. I think they were up to 6th before all the games were played. So if West Brom win, they can jump up the table once again. If Coventry win, they could go up to as far as 13th, depending on how many goals they score tonight. And if Blackburn win, they can put themselves back into the playoff spots, and they could possibly go all the way up to 5th, depending again on how many goals that they do score tonight. So both teams could get up the table, a thing that both will obviously want to do. Coventry a little bit lower than West Brom, but top 7 is playoffs, and Coventry are 20th at the minute with a game in hand, and if they win, they would only be 2 points. Not 2 points. Sorry, they would be 4 points off playoff positions. So, despite Coventry being so low, a win would put them right back up and near the playoffs. So, table is a little bit deceiving. It usually is in the lower leagues. A couple wins on the bounce, and you can go right up the table, and it goes the other way. A couple losses, and you can shoot right back down. So, it really is so important to be consistent in these divisions, and Coventry haven't quite hit the consistent form yet. Neither is West Brom, really. Obviously, 9th now. They've won 5, drew 5, and lost 3. So, and in terms of consistency with West Brom, 1 win away from home so far this season, isn't good enough. You need to be winning a few more games. Even if they'd won 2 more away games so far on their travels, it puts them right up to 3rd place. So it's all about consistency in this division, and neither team have really hit that yet, especially Coventry, who sit a little bit lower in the table. But we are just under 7 minutes away from kickoff here at the CBS Arena, and we have had plenty of changes from the weekend for Coventry, and for West Brom we have had just a few changes. Because when we go from their results at the weekend, Coventry slumped to a 2. In midweek. Coventry slumped to a 2-0 away loss to Rotherham. A poor result. They conceded in the 51st minute and the 93rd on Wednesday night, and it's a real that's a loss that's going to hurt, because Rotherham aren't one of the better teams in the league. They will be near the bottom coming the end of the season. Rotherham actually got beat yesterday to Sheffield Wednesday, who are rock bottom, so it shows the quality Rotherham have. They haven't got much of it, so the fact they were defeated 2-0 isn't great. But West Brom come into this game after playing on Tuesday, so they've had an extra day of preparation for this one. They won an easy 2-0 win against QPR, who are now managerless after sacking Gareth Ainsworth at the weekend after their loss to Leicester. But they were a comfortable 2-0 win at home. Thomas Asante with a penalty in the 59th minute, and Dean Garner with a goal in the 68th. So that moved West Brom up to 6th, I believe, before this weekend. But now, after all the games being played, they've dropped to 9th. But as I mentioned before, they can go up to around, I think it's 5th place with a win, depending on how many goals they've scored, how many goals they score, and where goal difference leaves them. So big chance to get themselves in the playoff spots. Coventry can get themselves up to mid-table or around there with a win. So big points on offer tonight at the CBS Arena, Coventry's ground, which can hold just over 32,500. First game at this stadium was played in August 2005, and you might remember a few years ago they've had some obviously financial issues. They were ground sharing in the 2020-2021 season, where they finished 16th in the Championship. It was their first season back in the Championship, because in the 2019-2020 season, during the COVID times, they finished first of League One. You know, it's just something that's been fantastic under their manager, Mark Robins. He took them right from the very bottom and right up to the top. Took them from League Two all the way to the Championship, and as I mentioned before in the pre-match, a penalty shootout, one penalty kick even, from the Premier League, where they were obviously heartbroken in the playoff final against Luton on penalties. But it's a new season, it's a bit of a new squad. They've just not quite gelled yet, but I think once they start getting that machine oiled properly, and they're, you know, they're connected better, the new players, and they understand the system and what Mark Robins wants, I do think Coventry will be up there again. They spent some decent money in the window. They brought 11 new players in when 12 departed. Obviously some big departures for Coventry. That's something you need to remember when they're being put so low in the table at the minute. You know, they lost the likes of Gyökeres, who was an unbelievable player for them, the Swedish striker who moved to Sporting Lisbon for £20 million. In summer they also lost Gus Harmer for £15 million to Sheffield United. He got them 11 goals last season in the Championship, 2 of them in the playoffs. So they did lose 2 huge players, and 2 of the best players in the league. So to have to try and replace them and then get players into their positions and get them to know the position quickly, it's a hard thing to do. So I just think Coventry need a bit more time. You know, we're just about to hit November. You know, if they're going to want to go for playoffs again, they probably need to start hitting consistent form in around November time, really. That's when you need to start really kicking your season on if you want to do something successful. And a win tonight could start that. They could kickstart a bit of form. No wins in their last 3, unfortunately, for Coventry. Just the 1 clean sheet as well in their last 5, and that came to Blackburn at home. And as I said before in the pre-match, Coventry haven't lost at home. They've won 2 and drawn 4. So, and they've only conceded 5 goals at home. So at home, they have been really strong defensively. Just attacking, they haven't been too great in there. You know, to 4 draws out of 6 at home, it isn't good. You know, you're obviously not taking every chance you get, or you're not taking the majority of your chances, or you're missing too many chances. So, it's, even though they're low in the table, you know, their home form hasn't been disastrous. It's been pretty decent. Which 4 teams will get promoted to League One this season? I do support a team in League One. I've mentioned this before, Stockport County. So if we count Stockport County to go up, Stockport will go up, Wrexham, Notts County. I know it's a really basic answer because I think it is the top 4, but Mansfield look really good as well. They've not been beaten yet, so I think it'll be them 4. But you know, there is some decent teams. You know, Bradford haven't kick-started their managerless, and Bradford might not be up there, but they're a big club, Bradford. But I think they'll be the 4 that go up to League One. But I could be wrong. Right, let's go through these teams really quickly because I've just gone on with myself a little bit too long, as both sets of players are currently out on the pitch about to shake hands. So we'll start with the Coventry team, and it'll be Ben Wilson in goal. He's played every single game so far this season in the Championship. Back 3 of Bobby Thomas, who joined in the summer from Burnley for £2 million. Captain Cal McFadzean, who scored on the opening day of the season. He plays with Liam Kitchen also at the back, who joined from Barnsley in the summer as well for £4 million. I think it's going to be a 4 across, maybe a 5. We'll have to wait and see. But at the wing-back positions, we're going to go with Milan van Ewijk, also a new signing from the Dutch league in the summer. On the left is going to be Jay De Silva, who joined on a free from Bristol City. And then midfielders are going to be Josh Eccles, Ben Sheaf, and playing just slightly ahead of them, I think he's going to be Jamie Allen. And then 2 more forward players. I don't know if Sakamoto might move to the wide areas, but it's definitely going to be Haji Wright as the striker, and Tashirio Sakamoto, a new signing also on starting. He's got 2 starts in his last 4. He's yet to score, the Japanese man, the Japanese international. But We'll have to wait and see if he can break that duck tonight. And then the bench is just down below. For West Brom, they're going to go for goalkeeper Alex Palmer, who's also played every game this season in the Championship, conceding 14 and keeping 6 clean sheets, all in the last 8 games. Back 3 of Cedric Kipre, who's come back from an injury against QPR in the week. He's back in the team. Kyle Bartley and Eric Peters complete the back 3. Wing-back's going to be Pieper, signed on a loan from Ludogorets. On the left, it's going to be Matt Phillips. 3 midfield of Nathaniel Chalobah, Okay Yakoshlu and Alex Mowat. And then 2 leading the line is going to be captain Jed Wallace, who signed on a free last season from Millwall. He's only got the 1 goal so far this season. And Grady Diangana, who's got his first goal of the season in their last game against QPR. No recognised striker for West Brom, which I find very interesting. They have decided to drop Brandon Thomas Asante to the bench, who also scored against QPR in the week. And they've gone for a midfield 5. Well, obviously that's got to be for tactical reasons. Putting 5 in the midfield, maybe try and dominate the ball a little bit more at Coventry, try and block out the way they want to play. We'll wait and see when the game starts, but it's definitely a little bit of a formation shift by West Brom, going for the 5 in midfield and not 4, and not having a recognised striker at all as well. But we do know the likes of Grady Diangana, who has fantastic pace. Jed Wallace is also a really good creative player. He got 6 goals and 8 assists last season in the Championship and started every single Championship game as well. But for Coventry, they have made 5 changes. Dropped to the bench is Lati Baudia, Binks, Ayari, Sims and Godden. Obviously after that really disappointing 2-0 away loss to Rotherham, Mark Robbins has decided to switch it up completely, and why not? If your team isn't performing away at Rotherham, something needs to change, and he's gone for it. He's brought in the likes of Sakamoto to start from the off. Haji Wright, their new signing from Turkey, 7.7 million record fee. So Coventry's gone to change it up. West Brom just a couple of changes, only the 2 changes. Furlong and Thomas Asante on the bench. Pieper and Alex Mowat come in. As we kick off, it'll be West Brom kicking right to left, Coventry left to right. West Brom will kick off. Long ball, diagonal up towards Matt Phillips in the final third in the Coventry half. He's just missed out on the header and it goes right through for a Coventry throw-in in their defensive third on this near side. As we have started this Monday night game, as a clearance by Bobby Thomas is just slightly sliced and it goes for a West Brom throw-in deep in the Coventry half here. Couldn't quite clear his lines properly there. Bobby Thomas. As it's Yakoshlu. Peters goes back to the halfway line for West Brom with Kyle Bartley, who goes across to the right to Cedric Kipre. Came off in their last game against QPR with an injury, but he's been able to return for this game on this Monday night against Coventry. As it's Jed Wallace on halfway. Goes back into his own half to Kipre. Forward beyond the halfway line. Here to Chalobah. Tries to drive inside and gets the ball to Mowat. And the ball's flashed inside to number 20. It's number 11 now, Diangana on the left. Just midway inside the Coventry half. He's got Phillips furthest left and he plays it here to the Scotsman. He's going to try and take on Van Evik one-on-one. Wanting to get back onto his right foot and he's been forced to play backwards to Diangana, who gets away from the challenge of Eccles. Goes forward here, 20 yards out is Jed Wallace. Out to the right to Chalobah. Here's Pieper. The right wing back, the Spaniard. Trying to take on De Silva. Keeps possession by playing it back to Kipre, who swings a ball in the box. He goes right the way through. And it has to be chested behind by Van Evik for a corner for West Brom. Good start from Carlos Corberan's men. Really good ball there from Kipre. He got forward from right centre half with the cross that entered the 6-yard box. It was a good curling ball in. And at the far post, it was looking... Well, Diangana tried to get on it. Phillips wasn't quite close enough, but Van Evik wasn't taking any prisoners there. Just got the ball behind. Conceded the corner. It's the first one of the game. 2 minutes in. West Brom on top very early on here. As it's an outswinger from Mowat at the near post. It's a header won by number 4, Bobby Thomas. And it'll be a repeat from this corner. It'll be Alex Mowat to take it again. Who did start 5 games in a row, Alex Mowat, before QPR where he dropped to the bench. But now he's back in once again. The former Barnsley man who did make the Championship playoffs in the 2020-2021 season with Barnsley in their shock season. And here he is again, left-footed, outswinger, again towards the near post. It's another header won by Bobby Thomas. He comes to the edge of the box to Diangana, who touches it out wide left here to Mowat. He wants to recycle it in the box, and he will do so when the ball's been headed behind there, I think by Sheaf. and it'll go through for a West Brom throw-in on the far side, right next to the corner flag. It's a really good start here from the Baggies. Bit of a Midlands derby this, only the 50-minute travel for the West Brom fans tonight, as the throw-in goes to Chalobah. Touches it back out wide here to Pipa, who's got everything to his left. Goes short to Yokoshlu, who's been closed down here by Sakamoto. Tackled strongly by Sheaf, who has it in the left-back area now for Coventry. He spins and clears with his left boot. Up towards Hadji Wright, loses out to Cedric Kipre. And it'll be a throw-in for West Brom here as the last touch comes off Allen. Midway inside the Coventry half is Pipa, the Spaniard, who has followed Corberan wherever he's gone, the right wing back tonight for West Brom. He's played for him under Huddersfield, Olympiacos, and now West Brom, making his first start for his new club on loan from Ludogorets. Jed Wallace just forced out for a goal kick there towards the corner flag. He tried to get the cross in, but his touch was too heavy and he couldn't quite work the cross in before the ball had ran out of play. Just under 4 minutes in, it's been all West Brom who got one dangerous ball in the box through Cedric Kipre. Couldn't be met by Diangana or Phillips. As Coventry play out from the back. It's in their 6-yard box here with Ben Wilson across his goal line. He plays it out to the right to Bobby Thomas, who takes a horrific touch. And the ball goes out of play for a West Brom throw. Bit nervous start, especially from Bobby Thomas. He's had a few poorly cleared balls. And that touch is just a basic touch, and it's gone out of play. So, throwing for West Brom. Deep in the Coventry half here. Eric Peters to take. Throws it to Mowat. Back to Peters. Goes 10 yards backwards to Yokoshlu, who's just drifted out to the left-hand side. So now with Kyle Bartley on halfway. He'll go back into his own half with goalkeeper Alex Palmer. He rejected the move to Luton in the summer, a team he'd been at on an emergency loan back in March of 2022. And he's now West Brom's number one, as it's Sakamoto on the left for Coventry as the Bluebirds win the possession back. He's running away from Chalobah, gets the ball inside here to De Silva. Sheaf, tackled by Pipa, and Jed Wallace can bring it away on the edge of the box for West Brom. Plays it into the centre of the park here to Alex Mowat, who will look out wide left with Phillips in support. He's not released it yet as he passes the halfway line. He now plays it to the number 10 Phillips, playing at wing back tonight. His ball inside's been intercepted here by Coventry, and now they can bring it forward. It's Josh Eccles with a run down the right hand side, gets the ball inside to Hadji Wright, and his layoff towards Jamie Allen's been misplaced. And it'll be West Brom back in possession in their own half. On their right side, on this far side with Pipa. He goes back into the 18-yard box here to Palmer, who just about gets there ahead of Hadji Wright. And the clearance has gone straight to Jed Wallace, who chests it down to Diangana, who then plays it through to Wallace, who's made a running behind. He enters the box on the right corner and plays it inside to the edge of the box to Diangana. Shifts it to the left to Mowat, who again is quite central on the pitch. It's now out to the left side to Phillips, 30 yards away from goal. But a simple 10-yard pass to Mowat. Now Peters is getting forward from left centre half, as he's been part of that back three, the 35-year-old, making his 50th appearance tonight for the club. Eric Peters. Phillips back to the Coventry goal, so he's looking for options, but he turns Van Evik. Great skill from number 10, Matt Phillips. He wants an early crossing. He'll put it all the way across, and it's put away for a corner by De Silva. That's two crosses, one on each side, where West Brom have been able to get it right across goal, but both times Coventry have just been able to deal with it. The first one was dealt with by Van Evik, and that time De Silva had to clear because Pipa, the right wing back, was charging in behind, looking to try and get a finish at the far post. But he just got the sliding challenge in to kick the ball away for a corner. It's been a really good start. Just under 7 minutes in here from West Brom. Coventry have conceded the most goals from crosses this season with 7. So it's definitely something they're trying to get at West Brom, as the corner's gone short and the ball's been put in. Bobby Thomas with the header in the 6-yard box. Tries to be controlled in the 18-yard box, but they've lost out. And it's going to be another corner. Diangana with the shot that time. Just panicky, messy defending so far from Coventry. Something that they're quite strong at. Being able to defend, resolutely, especially at home. Only conceding 5 so far this season at home, and they've yet to lose also in their first 6 home games. But if it's just poor clearances or, lack of communication, they've gone short here again on the far side. Diangana to the edge of the box to Jed Wallace, not being pressed, so he's allowed to cross it in towards Kyle Bartley off the post. Was the flag up? I don't think it was. Would have stood. I thought he was offside. Ben Wilson clears it up the pitch quickly. It's a high clearance and it's header won by Peters. Drops to the halfway line to Dean Garner, who's been pushed down to the ground there by Liam Kitchen. And it will be a West Brom free kick on halfway. I don't think the flag went up there on Kyle Bartley. Let's have a look here. So he's gone short and then out to the edge of the box to Wallace. Yeah, he would have been well offside. I really hope the flag went up there from the linesman. Yeah, he did. Kyle Bartley was a couple yards offside. He did hit the post with his header just on the 6-yard line. Went across goal towards the far post. But it deflects off the post into the hands of Wilson. But play was allowed to continue because Coventry had possession of the ball. Jed Wallace has a heavy touch out of play. Only a year at the club for Jed Wallace. And he's already been named captain by Carlos Corberan. Probably for his, for his reliability. Jed Wallace plays a lot of games, starts a lot of games for West Brom in his first season. And very rarely was out with injury. As it's with Ben Sheaf on the far left-hand side for Coventry, driving into the West Brom half, laying it off to Allen, back out wide left to De Silva, midway inside the West Brom half on the far side. He goes back inside towards Josh Eccles. You can also play out wide himself. Josh Eccles, number 28 for Coventry. Can play in a wing-back role as well. As De Silva's gone down under the challenge of Kipre. Gone out for a throw-in for Coventry. Midway inside the West Brom half here, so maybe a chance for Coventry to actually have an attack at the opposition goal, because all they've done is defend for the opening 10 minutes of the game, the home side. As it's gone for another throw for Coventry. Similar position, just came off Nathaniel Chalobah there. As we're just 10 yards inside the West Brom half here with Kitchen, he goes back into his own half with McFadzean, the captain tonight for Coventry, then back once more to the edge of his box here to Ben Wilson, the goalkeeper. Long clearance up the field, down the right channel for Coventry. It's cut out there momentarily by Phillips. It will drop to Van Evik, who pokes it out wide right to Sakamoto, who keeps it in and plays it inside here to Allen. 20 yards from goal, plays it through into the box to Hadji Wright, who strikes it. It's a great block from Kipre. Deflects out to the right to Van Evik, who's one-on-one here with Phillips. On the edge of the box, pulls it low. Dealt with here by West Brom momentarily. It's with Phillips in the box, who needs to clear. He does do so, flicked on with the head of Chalobah on the edge of the 18-yard box, but only goes as far as number 14, Ben Sheaf, who's on the Coventry left. He's now with Eccles, about 30 yards from goal. Plays it to the right to Sakamoto, the number 7 for Coventry. He's on the corner of the box. He chops onto his left foot. Then back onto his right, enters the box. He strikes it, it's parried by Palmer. Comes out to Van Evik. He goes back out to Sakamoto. Plenty of West Brom bodies to defend this as the ball goes towards the far post. Header won by Pieper. Kept alive for Coventry, and a strike towards goals gone off Kipre. And it'll be a corner kick. The Coventry players are asking for a penalty after the shot was blocked by Kipre, but referee tonight, Peter Banks, says no. Let's have a look here. Bounced into the ground. It does come off his right arm there, Kipre, but he was trying to swing it behind his body. So I think it definitely would have been a harsh penalty to give. It's not like he kept his arm out to block it. He was very quickly trying to tuck his arm behind his body. But they've got a corner. Outswinger, De Silva, header won by Yakoshlu on the edge of the 6-yard box. Kept alive by Eccles, but his head's gone as far as Dean Garner. That's the clearance now for West Brom. Is met by McFadzean. It's now out to De Silva, midway inside the West Brom half. Is Coventry now enjoying a bit of spell of possession as it's been curled out to the right-hand side now to Van Evik. He's got Sakamoto in support. But he'll go for a cross, will he, Van Evik? He thought about it, but he's just keeping the ball here in the West Brom final third as he enters the box here and then lays it back outside the box to Sakamoto. Wants to get into his left foot, trying to create some space. Plays it forward to Eccles, back out wide right to Van Evik. One-on-one with Phillips, lays it back out to Eccles. All the work happening on the edge of the West Brom box here. Van Evik again on the ball, being patient here. Coventry, Sakamoto, forward into Allen. Van Evik with a lifted cross into the 6-yard box. Header won by Bartley, and it's gone for a Coventry corner. Very quick turnaround in momentum. It was all West Brom for the opening 9 minutes, I'd say, to be exact. But the last couple minutes have been Coventry having some attempts at the West Brom goal. The main one coming from Sakamoto, who forced a save from Alex Palmer at the near post. It was quite central towards the goalkeeper, so it wasn't a difficult save as the resulting corner has been cleared here by West Brom, but it falls to De Silva on the halfway line, who's tackled there by Yakoshlu, but the touch from Yakoshlu only goes as far as a Coventry man. So he's back in the possession of the home side with Ben Wilson playing out to the right to Sakamoto, who's dropped inside his own half to get the ball here for the home side. As it's Coventry on the ball, on the halfway line with right centre half here, Thomas. Forward to Sakamoto, midway side, the West Brom half plays it forward to Van Evik, who's got into the final third here. The right wing back for Coventry. Looks for Sakamoto. He's asking a lot from the Japanese international, who gets the ball away from Mowat. And it's now Thomas. Van Evik, ball inside to Sheaf. Through the gap. Can't get it through the gap on the edge of the box. It's intercepted by Yokoshlu. It's now to Diangana, who tries to turn and burst away, but he's been clipped from behind there by Ben Sheaf. And it'll be a free kick inside their own half here for West Brom. As I mentioned before, Coventry without to win in their last three. Drew at home 1-1 to Norwich, then were beaten away by Bristol City, and then beaten away again by Rotherham in their last game on Wednesday night. It's Kyle Bartley over this free kick. He's going to clip it down the West Brom left towards the edge of the box, where the header's won by Van Evik from Coventry. And it drops here to Eccles, who goes back into his own 18-yard box for Thomas, who then clears it down the channel, but it's a chest forward by Yokoshlu. And it's now with West Brom, with Phillips. Try to complete a 1-2 with Yokoshlu, who was pulled to the ground. And it's going to be a free kick for West Brom on this near side, on the left side. Peter Banks, the 41-year-old referee, believing that the Eccles pullback was enough for a free kick, and it probably was, just had a pull of the arm. Brought down the Turkish man. Yokoshlu did have a loan spell at the club from January to June in 2021 when they were last in the Premier League, but he returned at the start of last season on a free from Celta Vigo, Akai Yokoshlu, and he's won a free kick here for his side. They've sent the big boys forward as well. The left foot of Alex Mowat is stood over it. See exactly who he's got to aim for here. As we're just under 15 minutes in, Bartley's got up there. Chalobah, Yokoshlu, Kipre. The usual suspects you'd expect to be in the box for a set piece for West Brom as Mowat curls it in towards the near post. It's not really, I think it's not beat the second man there for Coventry, and the man who gave it away there, Eccles, is the one to head it away for his home side. Josh Eccles, who was born in Coventry, been at the club since the age of 7, the number 28 in central midfield tonight for Coventry, as it's Eric Peters with this throw-in. Throws it into Diangana, who's allowed to take a couple of touches, then go backwards to Yokoshlu. It's just a bit behind him, so has to chase it down ahead of Jamie Allen. He gets it to Bartley, who goes forward here on the halfway line to Mowat, whose ball was short to Eric Peters, and he's met by a strong challenge from Josh Eccles, who's putting in a few challenges from the midfield, and it's going to be a West Brom throw-in just in front of the halfway line. As a throw, it's gone in towards Phillips, who's driving inside from the wing-back position, and he collects the ball here from afar. He wants to shoot. He'll lay it off in front of him to Chalobah, who strikes it himself on the edge. It's parried by Wilson, and he'll drop to Grady Diangana, and it's a gift of a goal, and it's back-to-back goals for Diangana, and West Brom have a fortunate lead. It's not fortunate with the way that they've been playing, but the way it's been given to them, it is quite fortunate, but they will not care. In the opening 16 minutes, they have certainly dominated at least 10 of those first 16. And it started with Phillips picking up the ball in the midfield, drifting inside from wing back. And as he laid it off to Chalobah, he struck from the edge of the box around 22 yards out. And it should be a routine save for quite reliable Ben Wilson in the Coventry goal. But he's just parried it out in front of him. And from 6 yards out, Diangana has an empty goal to strike into. It's parried. He touches it away from Wilson. One touch. Then the finish. And West Brom lead through Grady Diangana. Oh, it's a really key touch that he makes to take it away from the goalkeeper. So Wilson parries it down. It bounces. Instead of hitting it first time, Diangana touches it away from the keeper, who's trying to chase down to try and make up for his error. Touched it to the left, and there's an easy slotted finish into the goal. And in the 16th minute, or just on 16 minutes, Diangana puts West Brom 1-0 up away at Coventry. Really poor goalkeeping from Ben Wilson. He's usually so reliable in between the sticks for Coventry, but that's a real error for some reason, he's not catching it, he's not bringing it in, he just kind of like patted it down. And instead of patting it down and then catching it, he patted it kind of down and in front of the play. And it allowed Diangana to just nip in, take the touch away from him, and then just slot it home into an empty goal. And as I mentioned before, that's now back-to-back goals for Diangana. He got his first of the season in the week against QPR. Now he's got his second of the season back-to-back against Coventry. And West Brom have a deserved lead for sure. They played better and they've been more dominant, but in terms of the way it was given to them, it was quite lucky. You know, you don't usually expect those kind of errors from Ben Wilson, but it's great forward play from Diangana to be ready when the mistake was made. He was ready, he was on it, and he finished in quick time, as it's now with Diangana in the centre circle, curling out wide left, looking for Phillips. It's a short ball, he's upset with himself there. Diangana giving the ball away. It's now with Van Eevik forward to Sakamoto as they charge forward in the West Brom half. Van Eevik, great touch into the West Brom box, and it's had to be poked behind for a corner. Really positive attacking play there from Milan Van Eevik, the Coventry right wing back who'd won the ball, intercepted it from the Diangana pass, and he completed a 1-2 with Sakamoto, and the touch was heavy in front of him to get it in the box, and just a bit too heavy, where it allowed Kyle Bartley to just poke behind for a Coventry corner who want to try and get back level ASAP. I think all three centre-halves are up there. It's a floater from Eccles towards the far post where the header's won by a Coventry man, and that'll be a goal kick. I think it was Bobby Thomas, the one who got his head to it, running away with a rise smile there, knowing he probably could have done better with that. But could West Brom be the first side here to win at this stadium this season? Not a great away record themselves for West Brom. Just the one win so far in their first 6 away games in the Championship. And they also lost away from home in the first round of the League Cup. West Brom. It's Diangana here chasing down the West Brom left, the Coventry right, and to the final third, and then he's stopped in his tracks by Josh Eccles, who's really been battling in that Coventry midfield. As he's on the Coventry right here, goes inside to Van Eevik, who gets away from the challenger Chalobah, but can't get away from Yakoshli, but he wins it back off the Turkish international. And it's now with Jamie Allen. Van Eevik across to the left it goes now to Kitchen, as it's now time for Coventry to try and open up an attack, as it's midway inside the West Brom half. It's on the far side with De Silva. Goes back inside now to Sheaf. And now Coventry will look to try and attack down their right-hand side with Van Eevik in the final third here. Again, one-on-one with Phillips. Can't take on the Scotsman. The tackle goes to Diangana, who then pulled down by Eccles. Fairly, says the referee. Sakamoto's caught from behind. Fairly, says the referee. And in the end... he's dived there. He has. Oh, my word. There was a little bit of battling going on in the midfield. One team made a challenge and won the ball, and then they lost it because the other team made a challenge. But Eccles was pulled down by Diangana. He kicked it back to Thomas, and then played it forward to Sakamoto, who's brought from behind. I don't think that's why the free kick was given. I think it was given for the foul on Eccles, who went down, but I don't think there was much contact, to be honest. Didn't quite see a replay to see what the contact was like. But Eccles, who won it, is stood over it on the Coventry right. It's on the angle, so it's a good chance for a right footer to put a swinging ball across the box. There's a bit of battling going on here with McFadzean and Pieper. Just having a word with them, the referee, the captain, Carl McFadzean and Pieper for West Brom. 1 or 2 changes made from the Baggies from their game in the week. As the cross will eventually be put in towards the near post. Can't be flicked on by McFadzean, then cleared away for West Brom. Brought down by De Silva, though, for Coventry, just in front of the halfway line. It's now back out to the right to Eccles, who's just about shifted it away from Diangana. It's now with Van Eevik, who wants to try and put the ball in the box. He will do so. It's met by Yakoshlu, but he'll drop along as far as Sheaf, 30 yards from goal for Coventry. Swings it out wide right to Van Eevik. Chance. Enters the box. Wants to try and get it in there, but he can't find Sakamoto. But he regains the ball back, and he now has it on the right-hand side again. Goes across the box for Allen. It's now 35 yards out with Kitchen. Forward to Hadji Wright. Takes it nicely on the turn. Trying to get a shot away, but he's been tackled eventually by Kipre, who clears for West Brom. Brought down nearly superbly by Nathaniel Chalobah on halfway. But he's been tackled, and it'll be a throw-in the end for Coventry. And they throw it back into their own half with McFadzean, who will go out to the right to Bobby Thomas, who started the season last year at Bristol Rovers on loan and then went out on loan instead to Barnsley for the second half of the season, where he got to the Championship final, but they lost in the most devastating of ways in the last minute of extra time, as this is really unfortunate. And he may have done it bringing down the ball before. I said he did a really good touch, Nathaniel Chalobah. He was almost sliding for it and brought it down, but I think he's pulled a muscle. And it's really disappointing. He started the last 2 games. He started the first game of the season and the last 2 that they played. And he's now gone down with an injury. I'm hoping it's not actually his muscle. He's getting some work done to his collarbone. So that might be why. I'm hoping it's not a muscle, because then, if you got a problem with your shoulder, hopefully it's treatable. Nothing too obvious from a tackle that he had made against him by Sheaf. I'm hoping just a little bit of treatment can mean he continues. Nathaniel Chalobah, who in the 2015-2016 season was on loan at Napoli, played 9 games for now the Italian champions and scored once for them. That was during his time at Chelsea, Nathaniel Chalobah, one of his loan spells that he made whilst he was at Chelsea. So he's still just receiving a little bit of treatment. As the play will continue with Coventry on halfway, because they were the team who had possession. Nathaniel Chalobah's just stood there on the far side, waiting to be waved back on, which is good news for West Brom and Chalobah, as Coventry build on their left side. It's with Sheaf, who switches it out to the right now to Van Evik. Towards the final third here, he's not got many options with him, so he goes across to the left here to Eccles, then out to the left-hand side to Sheaf. About 22 yards away from goal. He lays it off now to Kitchen, who's getting forward from left centre-half. Now to De Silva. He's got everything to his right. Goes back to Kitchen. It's now Eccles, as Chalobah's been allowed back on. Kitchen, forward, into the box now. And he gets the return here, Kitchen, who digs across into the box. And it's volleyed away by Phillips. Almost as far as Eccles, who works it back out to the left here to De Silva. 1-on-1 with Pippa. Going onto his right foot, met by Chalobah on the edge, who tackles him 1 time and a second, and headed away by Yikoshlu, almost as far as Sheaf, who strikes from afar, and he's always rising over the crossbar. It's been a little bit scrappy at times in midfield, because there's a lot of bodies in each midfield. Obviously, West Brom have gone for a flat 5, and Coventry can turn into a flat 5 with their formation as well. But Sheaf just digging out a shot there from around 22 yards out, but always going over the crossbar. Did miss quite a few games recently. Ben Sheaf, he missed game 6 to game 11, but he started every game he's featured in the Championship so far this season. As Coventry have it back again, a switch out to Van Evik on the right. It's been missed by him and seen through for a throw-in from Matt Phillips, midway inside his own half for West Brom. It's going to be left for Eric Peters to take, making his 70th appearance in the Championship. Eric Peters, formerly of the likes of Burnley and Stoke. Played 5 Premier League seasons for Stoke and 3 for Burnley. Eric Peters, he's coming towards the end of his career, the 35-year-old, as West Brom have worked it to their right-hand side here with Pippa, linking up with Chalobah, as he loses out with a heavy touch, though, the Spanish fullback. And he'll be back in possession of Coventry, won back by Jamie Allen in the centre circle. Hi mate, superb commentaries as usual. Thank you very much. In a minute, I will go through the upcoming commentaries for this channel within the next week. As a lifted ball in towards Jamie Allen's been headed away by Bartley, can't be picked up by Wallace on halfway. So he's now back with Coventry with McFadzean, who dummies the pass towards his own goalkeeper, and now he's facing forward. But he goes across to Bobby Thomas, who's just 10 yards in front of his 18-yard area. Then goes wide right to Allen. Forward to Van Evik, furthest right for Coventry. Tries to take on Phillips, and he does do so around the outside. And then his touch is too heavy, and he's been bundled off it by Mowat. So now Peters on the edge of the 18-yard box for West Brom, as he plays it forward to Mowat, who was just fouled from behind there by Van Evik. And it'll be a free kick for West Brom. They have failed to score in 3 of their 14 games now in the Championship, West Brom. And the games they have failed to score in, they've all been 0-0. So when they've when they've won, when they've not conceded, it doesn't mean they lose. It just means they usually draw. They've drew to Bristol away, Millwall at home and Plymouth at home. So some disappointing draws. And I was talking about that before the game for West Brom. They could be very much, high in the playoffs spots if some of those draws that they picked up, the 5 so far this season, were turned into victories. The likes of Millwall and Plymouth at home, they're two sides who have struggled so far this season, and they should have really been picking up 3 points at home against them two teams. But you're not given 3 points in football these days. You've got to work for them. It's now Coventry in possession in the West Brom half, midway inside the West Brom half, with Sheaf playing a ball out to the far left to De Silva. Back into Sheaf, forward to Allen. Plays it back to the path of Sheaf, who tries to play Sakamoto on the right, intercepted by Moet. Drops to Wallace, whose ball out wide right has been intercepted by De Silva, who's now got a 1-2 off with Allen. Can he play it across? He does do so. Is Sheaf taking on the shot again with his left foot this time, about 20 yards out. Always curling and rising over the crossbar there for Ben Sheaf. He's clearly wanting a goal. Ben Sheaf. He got 2 goals last season in the Championship, and also got the one against Wrexham in the FA Cup, where they were beaten at home by the Welsh side last season. And even though we're still in October, just about, Coventry's longest winning streak last season was 4 games in the Championship, where they beat the likes of Watford, Wigan, QPR and Blackburn. They scored 6 and didn't concede a goal in those 4 games that they won in November, so they'll be hoping for a similar run this November as well. As it's a throw-in for West Brom, midway inside the Coventry half, on this near side of Eric Peters, looking for a bit more movement. Diangana certainly giving it to him, and he'll get the return. Eric Peters, and he'll let it go for a throw-in as the Diangana pass last went off Sheaf there. Throws it down the line, Peters to Phillips, who just loses his foot in there, and it can be won back by Coventry with a clearance up towards Haji Wright. He's met by Kyle Bartley, and it'll be a throw-in for Coventry as the clearance goes out of play. And Van Evik quickly takes the throw-in as the ball is now played by Thomas to Wilson in the 6-yard box, who then clears it low. It's a poor clearance, but it'll drop to Allen, who goes back to Eccles, then forward into the path of Sakamoto, passing the halfway line now and playing it out to the left of De Silva, who will pull back inside Sakamoto, back out to Silva again in the final third here. They want to try and get a cross in. Haji Wright's in there. It's Kitchen. Sakamoto. De Silva getting forward from wing back, playing it through to Allen on the angle. He lifts it into the far post where it's headed on and away by Phillips, kept alive by Van Evik on the Coventry right as he keeps the ball in play and goes backwards to Sheaf. Then forwards to the edge of the box to Allen. He goes back to goal, so relays it back into Sheaf, whose heavy touch has been tackled by Chalobah. That's now with Moet, who's getting in a little bit of a mess with Chalobah, but between the two, they are able to shift it out to Peters at left centre half. Forward to Wallace, who's been slammed to the ground by Eccles, but no free kick given. Eccles forward to Haji Wright, touch on the edge of the box. He's brought down in the box, but it's a bit no foul in that, and it'll be cleared by Eric Peters. Forward to Diangana, who can't quite keep it away there on the edge of the centre circle from Sheaf. So it's now back with Coventry again, who's definitely been the team in control since the West Brom goal from Grady Diangana in the 17th minute. Sakamoto, midway inside the West Brom half. Plays it forward to De Silva. He's got the run of Kitchen from centre half. On the edge of the box, who then crosses it to Haji Wright, who gets there. And I'm not sure what he's trying. It found the striker on the 6-yard line. Good ball there on the edge of the box by Kitchen, and I'm not sure if Haji Wright's trying to control it or have a shot. Let's have a look. It curls into him. And I think that's a touch. I think he tried to take a touch on his left foot, but instead it just bounced off the outside of his left boot. And it went for a goal kick. Should have probably just tried to swing it that with his left boot, Haji Wright, instead of trying to control it, because he was quite close to the West Brom goal. But West Brom survive. And the big clearance up towards Jed Wallace midway inside the Coventry half. He's lost out to McFadzean, but the ball dropped towards Chalobah, who loses out to De Silva. It's now a ball in behind for Haji Wright, who is offside. He's got to be offside. Where's the line? Yeah, there we go. The flag's up from the linesman. Sorry, very professional saying him lino. Linesman on this near side. Just played it too early there. Haji Wright was playing off the shoulder of Kipre, and it was lifted over the top just inside his own half there by, I think it was sheath, but just mistimed his run there, Haji Wright. West Brom on the ball in their 18-yard box of goalkeeper Alex Palmer. Out to left centre-half Eric Peters, who played down the line to Phillips, tries to take the turn around Van Evik on the outside, but he runs out of pitch. And it's a throw in for Coventry in the West Brom half. But West Brom so far, recently, have been so solid defensively. 6 clean sheets all season, and they've all come in the last 8 games, 3 at home and 3 away. They've really started to become solid defensively. As it's Sakamoto here for Coventry. On the Coventry left, just 10 yards in front of the halfway line is Eccles. Goes forward to Jamie Allen, who goes back to the halfway line here to McFadzean. Who feeds it to the left to Eccles, forward to Sakamoto, relays it to Eccles. De Silva, forward to Sakamoto. Good play here from Coventry, trying to find the swing of things as he's fed it back through to De Silva. Pull back. Haji right with the touch and shot. It's well blocked in the end. Lays it off though as he gets the return. Sakamoto, he needs to let fly. He does do so. It's a block on the 6-yard line by Yakoshlu and cleared by Matt Phillips. Coventry starting to create chances of their own. Really good ball down the left channel from Sakamoto to Da Silva, who then went into the box to find Wright, whose shot was blocked. Back towards him, and then he played it Sakamoto, whose shot of his own was blocked as well. It was actually blocked off the hand there of Eric Peters. No one in the ground asked for any handball, so I don't know, but looks like that shot might have been blocked by the hand of Eric Peters. Coventry have it again. On the halfway line with McFadzean as West Brom just push forward a little bit. Eric Peters, ball around the corner, looking for Haji Wright. Is he onside this time? I believe the flag stayed down and he's been collided into by Kyle Bartley, who will clear it for a throw-in for Coventry. The flag stayed down. He timed the run correctly this time, Haji Wright, as the throw-in's been taken to Jamie Allen, who's come out to the left-hand side here. Inside it goes to Eccles. Out to the right to Bobby Thomas from centre-half. He's putting a cross into the box, and it's well caught by Alex Palmer on the edge of the 6-yard line. Only making his 40th appearance for West Brom. Alex Palmer at the age of 27. First time he was ever in a first-team squad was back in May of 2015 in the Premier League against Arsenal. So he has been at the club for a while, the goalkeeper. Now he's number 1. Was out quite a bit last season with injury, unfortunately. Alex Palmer. But he's been injury-free so far. As Jed Wallace pokes out towards Dean Garner on the right. It's now with Chalobah on the halfway line, loses that to Eccles, and it's now with Sakamoto. Just seems like Coventry are now winning the 50-50 battles in the midfield and are coming out with the ball more often. They've definitely been the better side, Coventry, since the goal for the last 20 or so minutes. You know, West Brom were the better team for the first 15, and then you'd probably say Coventry for the last 20. But it's amounted to nothing at the minute as De Silva has it at left wing back, glides the ball across to Van Evik on the volley. Left-footed, weak-footed slice, so it's still in the box. And there's an offside flag in there anyway. Not really speciality Van Evik. Finishing as Chalobah's been booked here, I think for time wasting, because as the free kick was given for offside, he's booted the ball down the right channel for West Brom, looking for someone. But the referee is not buying that he didn't hear the whistle. He's booked him there. Havertz, the whistle was blown and then he kicked the ball down the line. So yellow card, we know what the new rules are, so we should know that, Nathaniel Chalobah. So free kick for West Brom in their 18-yard box, played to the edge of the box to Kipre. Switches it out to the left to Eric Peters, still well inside the West Brom half, with Yakoshlu on the ball, as it's now with Palmer, who's just adventuring outside of his 18-yard box to the West Brom goalkeeper. As this fixture last season, it was a game apiece for wins. Coventry won at home 1-0 with Gyökeres in the 93rd minute with a penalty. And then the second game, West Brom, this was in early February, they also won at home 1-0. Dean Garner in the 15th minute, so back-to-back goals for Dean Garner in this fixture as well. As a switch out to the West Brom left has gone out of play. It's now with Coventry again on the ball in their own half. Just played under 38 minutes. Coventry 0, West Brom 1. Ball forward by Kitchen. Can't find Hadji Wright, but the clinch from Kipre's fallen over as far as Eccles on the halfway line for Coventry. It's now back with their captain McFadzean. Liam Kitchen, also a part of that Barnsley squad last season who got to the playoff final. He played with Bobby Thomas in a back three. Two of the three Coventry centre-halves as Bobby Thomas dinks it up towards Van Evik, who's gone to a striker position. He's dealt with, though, in the end for West Brom and clipped forward by Phillips on the edge of the 18-yard box. Helped on by Wallace, but no one's chasing it down. It's now back in possession of the home side. In the centre circle. Ball over the top again for Hadji Wright, who can't bring it down. Offside. Well, he couldn't bring it down because Bartley got there first, but he was offside anyway. The American striker. Just the 2 goals so far for Hadji Wright this season. Both at home in wins against Middlesbrough and Blackburn. He's played for the likes of LA Galaxy. Hadji Wright. Schalke as well for 3 years. Actually born in LA. The American striker. As West Brom clear up the field towards halfway line where Dean Garner does chest it down, but he's been pressured here by Sheaf on the West Brom left. Can't get around Sheaf, and he loses out here, and Sheaf also loses out himself, looking for a pass towards Sakamoto, but he's cut out by Dean Garner. It's now with Chalobah, midway inside his own half. He's going to look to try and get forward here. He's been closed down here by Hadji Wright, but he gets away from him, and then lays it off out to the right side to Pipa. He goes back himself into the West Brom half to Kyle Bartley to keep possession for the Baggies. He hasn't played any minutes, Kyle Bartley, in the last 3 meetings between these two sides, but he's starting tonight and he's played the first 40 minutes of this fixture. As West Brom haven't had a shot on at goal the last 15 minutes. Just shows the swing of momentum and dominance in this game. As Peters goes back to Bartley here. Peters again on the left side in the left back position. Plays it down the line to the halfway line here to Phillips. Lets Mowat take over and now completes a 1-2 with Dean Garner. Alex Mowat tries to go back his side again to Dean Garner, but he telegraphed the pass too easily and it's picked up by Eccles, who will drive forward on the Coventry right. He goes into the box looking for Hadji Wright. Side tackle from Kipre. Falls out to Sakamoto on the Coventry right again. Enters the box. Goes on the byline. Gets the pull back. It's met by Kipre. And the clearance rises high into the Coventry sky. And headed down in the end to Thomas by Van Evik. That's now Bobby Thomas on the Coventry right. Midway inside the West Brom half. He goes across to the left here to McFadzean. It's now a Sheaf. Looking for De Silva on the Coventry left, but he's now looking the opposite way. And he finds Eccles out to the right here in the final third. Van Evik with a one-on-one battle again with Phillips. We'll try and go on his right side. He is going to do that and pulls it into the 6-yard box. Cleared away again by Kipre. Nodded down though by Bobby Thomas. And it's now with Eccles on the edge of the box. Back it goes here to Kitchen. Forward to Sakamoto, who's back to goal. He's been pulled down and the referee doesn't give anything. It's cleared in the end by Pipa, who will then concede the throw-in as the clearance to the opposite side has gone all the way through for a throw-in. On this near side, Kitchen played it through to Sakamoto and no, not enough contact at all for a free kick. Coventry thrown here. They'll be taken, I believe, here by the Dutchman, Van Evik, who was born in Amsterdam and it's his first ever club that he's played for outside of the Netherlands, the 23-year-old. That's from the throw-in. He's got the ball here down the line from Sheaf. He's got Sakamoto in support. Tackled there by Phillips. So another throw-in here for Coventry to take. As they're really piling on the pressure, looking for this equaliser. As he throws it all the way back towards the halfway line to Thomas. Forward to Eccles, who takes it on the turn, looking forward himself. On the Coventry right, he finds Sakamoto, who shifts it onto his left foot here, about 22 yards away from goal. Lays it off to Sheaf. Forward to Eccles. And in the box it goes to Allen, who doesn't quite meet the strike. About 14 yards out, just behind the penalty spot. Great play. And it's a good pass from Eccles, who finds Jamie Allen. Dead centre in the box. Looking to strike, but it was just quite a flat shot in the end and an easy save for Palmer. As the ball's been cleared forward towards Matt Phillips on the left-hand side. It's been seen out for a Coventry throw-in right towards the corner flag here. So they've really pushed up the field here, West Brom. They have got their two main strikers on the bench though tonight. Mark Robbins with Matt Godden and Ellis Sims, who've played all of the Championship games so far this season, but obviously wasn't best pleased with their performance away at Rotherham, where they were beaten 2-0 in the week. So he decided to change it up and drop both of them to the bench. As we are 2 minutes away from the 45 minutes being played. Still West Brom 1 away at Coventry. Sakamoto tries to play it through to Van Eevik. He gets the return as it deflects off Phillips. It's now Van Eevik on the ball. Inside it goes to Eccles. Back to Thomas. Forward to Van Eevik in the final third. He plays a low ball into Allen, who spins it towards Sheaf on the edge of the box, and the pass was misplaced. And as Sheaf tried to keep possession, he just slid into Wallace to concede the free kick. Allen spun the ball backwards, looking for Sheaf. Just caught Jed Wallace late instead of getting the ball there. The former Arsenal midfielder Ben Sheaf was at Arsenal for 7 years, from 2014 to 2021. And before that, he was West Ham's academy from 2011 to 2014. As it'll be Alex Palmer, the West Brom goalkeeper, to take this free kick. It was 10 yards in front of the 18-yard box, so he's going to pump it long, deep into the Coventry half, where it'll be a free header to be won by Bobby Thomas. It'll be kept alive for West Brom, though, by Peters. Now Phillips to Dean Garner, who's been tackled there by Sheaf. And then Allen's tackle, and then Mowatt's tackle, and Allen goes for a Coventry throw in midway inside their own half, as it's been thrown back and played into their own box here by Thomas to their goalkeeper, Ben Wilson, who's definitely at fault for the West Brom goal. Back out to the right side here to Thomas. It goes into McFadzean, who curls it down the Coventry right, chested down by Allen. Out to the right to Van Eevik. Back inside to Allen, all in the Coventry half still, as they curl it out to the left this time to Liam Kitchen, who will drive forward past the halfway line. He'll play a 10-yard pass forward to Sakamoto, who's been dispossessed by Kipre fairly. And as he tries to win it back, Kipre's been surrounded here. And the last touch should come off a Coventry man. Oh, he's given... Which way is he giving that? Kipre's been booked for his reaction for whatever the referee is given. I'm not sure what he's given here. As we hit the 45th minute, 2 minutes added on. Kipre not happy there. He won it off Sakamoto, and then Sakamoto tried to win it back with Kitchen, who just kind of gave him a big shove there. I just don't think Kipre was happy with the velocity of the challenge that Kitchen was putting in there. So he kind of went up into the ref's face and picked up a booking, which is quite silly because I think his side has won the free kick anyway. He won the free kick. So it's a little bit pointless from Kipre to have a go at the ref when he got the right decision. As Kipre took the free kick, clipped down the West Brom right, headed away by Kitchen for a West Brom throw-in, midway inside the opposition half. Hello. I hope everyone is enjoying. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. Stay at half-time because I'll be telling you the next few commentaries coming up on the channel. As Dean Garner miscontrols from the throw. And out of play, it goes for a goal kick for Coventry. It was towards the corner flag there, Dean Garner, so he had to have a sharp touch, and he didn't, and it went out for a goal kick, which should have been taken short to McFadzean for Coventry, who has the ball in his own half here. The 36-year-old captain. I'm talking about Coventry playing Wrexham last year. His brother, Callum McFadzean, does play for Wrexham. And it's now Thomas in the centre circle for Coventry. He lays it off to his left to Kitchen. All West Brom plays behind the ball to try to see this lead out until half-time. Sakamoto drifting out to the left side. Lays it back off here to Eccles. Goes across to the halfway line to McFadzean. We've got 20 seconds left to go with this first half after the 2 minutes of additional time. Van Eevik on the right. He takes on Phillips. No, he doesn't. He nearly got the beating of him the first time, but a good slide challenge from Phillips. Got the slide tackle in, but he's conceded the corner. It's a really good battle on the Coventry right between Van Eevik and Matt Phillips. Wing back against wing back. But right before half-time, Coventry have got a chance here from a corner. The team who finished 5th last season, beaten in the playoff final on penalties. They're currently near the bottom of the championship with a floated ball towards the far post. No one near the ball, and it's an easy, comfortable catch for Alex Palmer. And that'll be that for the first half at the CBS Stadium. It is Coventry 0, West Brom 1. And it's been an interesting first half, I would say, to be honest. The first 15 minutes, well, the first 17 minutes, up until the Grady Dean Garner goal, it was all West Brom getting plenty of crosses in. We had 2 crosses right across the box where West Brom had to deal with it and concede corners. They were having majority of the ball, getting a few shots away, and they were able to break the deadlock in the 17th minute. A shot from around 22 yards out from Nathaniel Chalobah was spilled by the goalkeeper Ben Wilson, and Dean Garner was there to get onto the parry from the goalkeeper, touched it away from Ben Wilson, who was coming out to try and get the ball back after his mistake. But Grady Dean Garner shifted it away from him to his left and then had an empty goal just to play the ball into. And Grady Dean Garner, who did score in West Brom's last game against Coventry, which was a 1-0 win, he puts them 1-0 up in this one as well. And that was in the 17th minute. But ever since the goal, the tides just changed. It then became all Coventry. All Coventry on the ball. Some chances, a lot of shots and goal. They've had 11 shots, 3 on target. Yet to make the net, yet to nestle a ball into the back of the West Brom net. But they've had plenty of possession, 63% overall. They've had 11 shots. Nothing to show for it as of yet. But at half-time, in this Monday night game between Coventry and West Brom, at the CBS Stadium, it is Coventry 0. West Brom 1. Decent half. Really impressed by West Brom first 17 minutes. Then they got the goal, and then Coventry really, went into, first, second, third, and fourth gear with having a lot of the ball and getting a lot of crosses in on their own. Haji Wright had a few attempts. Sakamoto had a shot blocked as well, but yet to score tonight. But I will go through the upcoming commentaries on this channel as we are at half time. So, coming up on the channel. So on Wednesday, we have got League Cup 4th round commentary of Manchester United against Newcastle. That is at a later kickoff of 8:15. 8:15 kickoff, a little bit later. And I think we'll have the draw afterwards. I might stick around for the draw, depending on how quickly it happens after the game. But if it happens like half an hour after kickoff, I'll not be sticking around for that. But United, just coming off the back of a derby loss at the weekend against Newcastle in the League Cup. That'll be commentated live on Wednesday, 1st of November. Then a double header at the weekend, and it's a different kind of double header. I've had a bit of a switch up. It's going to be 2 commentaries, both on the 5th of November, Sunday, and it's going to be Arsenal women taking on Manchester City women. I think it's 12 o'clock. Let me make sure I get that right. So, it is going to be, Arsenal against Manchester City women at 12:30, and then we'll be commentating on Brighton, Manchester United women at 6:45. So a double header this Sunday coming. Both women games that I haven't done it on the channel yet. It's Arsenal, Manchester City at 12:30, and Brighton and Manchester United at 6:45. So double header this weekend. It is all women's football, so make sure you are here for that. Get some experience. It's really, really good quality football, and it should be 2 cracking games, especially the first one. Arsenal, Manchester City, who they are 2 of the biggest teams in the women's game. City currently sit top of the WSL on goal difference with 3 wins out and a draw in their first 4. Arsenal have had a bit of a slow start. They have picked up 2 wins so far this season against a very strong Aston Villa side and Bristol City, but did start with a loss to Liverpool at home and a draw away at United, which isn't a bad result as well. So that should be a good game. And then Brighton, who are currently lower in the table, take on United, who finished, I think it was second last year, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, finished second, 2 points behind eventual winners, Chelsea. So 2 great Women's Super League fixtures coming to the channel at the weekend. So make sure you come and check them out. Get a taste of what the women's game is like. So we've got Manchester United, Newcastle on Wednesday. We've got Arsenal, Man City and Brighton, Man United women on the 5th of November on the Sunday. And then on the Thursday, the week after, we've got Aston Villa against AZ Alkmaar in the Europa Conference League. And on that weekend, which is the 11th, which is the Saturday. We are doing Bournemouth taking on Newcastle. So they're the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 commentaries coming up in the next couple of weeks. So make sure you come and check all them out. I will be scheduling them a few days before they happen. So make sure you're subscribed with subscribe with notifications on, so then you'll know when those commentaries are happening on the channel. A little bit of a question here that is showing of possibly Diangana being offside when Chalobah has his shot, and which that shot was parried by Ben Wilson, and Diangana got on the rebound. I just don't know what he's trying to do there, Ben Wilson. He's just got to come and collect it. He's got to bring it in. He's got to scoop it in, but he tries to just bounce it down on the ground, and he just completely gets it wrong. And Diangana was there to take one touch away from the keeper and just slot it into an open goal. Also, here in the 11th minute, a sheath strike on the edge of the box was blocked by Kipre in the box, who's with his right arm did block it. It was his upper right arm, but it looks like he is just trying to tuck it behind his back. But he definitely does come off the right arm for Kipre. It does come at him at pace as well. So I'm not sure with that one, because I don't know if I'm just trying to be nice with Kipre and try to give him the benefit of the doubt of him sticking his arm out, but it does look like his arm comes out and then he just tries to bring it back in as quick as possible. And as well, to be fair, it is to his side. You know, you could argue that's a natural position, having it to your side like that. I don't know. They have had a few chances. That handball, we had Hadji Wright having a first cross, which was touched out of play, and then the second cross, or the second ball in the box, was much better. The touch was straight to his feet, and then he poked it a goal, which was saved, and then it dropped in the end to Sakamoto, as I mentioned before, who also had a shot blocked, and that was by Yokoshlu. So Coventry have had chances, but again, just nothing really testing Alex Palmer in the West Brom goal. And you've got to remember, and I've said this a few times, but I think it's important to mention that West Brom have kept 6 clean sheets this season in the Championship. All of them have come in the last 8 games. So recently they have been really solid defensively, and it's going to be difficult for Coventry to get a goal, but they'll believe they can, especially when they're at home as well. As kick-off for the second half, we'll be getting underway in around 3 minutes' time. As I'm just having a look here on Twitter, and Manchester City have won Men's Club of the Year at the Ballon d'Or ceremony for the 2nd year in a row. Obviously, the team that won the treble last year, they are coming off the back of a Manchester derby victory, which is always nice when you win your local derby. But what will we get in this second half between these two Midland sides? As I mentioned before, it's a nice, easy trip home for West Brom tonight. Especially be even nicer if they win, but it's only a 50-minute drive to get from West Brom to Coventry. And in fairness, West Brom could really do with the 3 points here, because their next 3 games are really challenging. They have Hull at home, who currently sit 8th. They've got Southampton, who are in fifth. Well, I say that could change now because of West Brom's win. So they'll play, Hull, who go up to 7th. They'll play Southampton, who's 4th, and Ipswich, who are 2nd. So really tough fixtures coming up for West Brom in Hull, Southampton, and Ipswich. And if they can pick up 3 points from those games against teams near them, that will really put them near towards the top 3 positions in the Championship. For Coventry, some easier games, I'd say. It's not an easy one coming up. They do come up against 9th place Preston, who have just started to drop off a little bit. Their recent form has been a little bit off. But then they've got Stoke at home, who are up to 11th after 3 wins in a row for them, so they're in a bit of form. And then they also play Millwall, who are 18th, recently sacked their manager Gary Rowett. So some easier games for Coventry, definitely compared to the run that West Brom have got for the next 3 games. But I think any other team, bar Leicester, winning this league is being a little bit unrealistic. To to be completely honest. West Brom's last championship title was back in the 07-08 season. But like I said, I don't think anyone else winning the championship other than Leicester is going to be happening this year. I mean, Ipswich are really doing well, keeping up the pace. Ipswich is currently second on 34 points. 11 wins, a draw and a loss. But Leicester are just... And to be fair, Ipswich have got a game in hand because their game last week away at Rotherham, I believe, was postponed due to the storms that occurred in England. So they could even close that gap to 2 points to Leicester, who are first on 39, 13 wins and a loss. It's just ridiculous. I think we all knew Leicester were definitely too big and too good for this division, but, at least they're showing us, which is what you want to see. When a team like Leicester come down, you don't, you want to see them take this division seriously. You don't want them to take it, lightly and think, we're just going to coast through this division and because we've got better players. They have showed, we have got better players, but we're going to play a system that is Pep-like, which is obviously going to be happening when they've just appointed their head coach as Enzo Maresca, who was assistant for Pep last year. So he's took the Pep system to Leicester, and it's obviously working an absolute treat for the Foxes so far this season. With this result, though, Coventry do stay in 20th. It is a little bit worrying, for sure. But saying that, they would only be 8 points off the playoffs, despite being so far down the table in 20th. But they are also close to the relegation zone as well. So they just need to be careful. Coventry, they need to start picking up wins soon. Definitely sooner rather than later anyway. The second half will be getting underway now in a couple of minutes' time at the CBS Stadium. But there's also, I'd like to mention, and I've mentioned it a few times when I've done commentary before in the playoff final, but the job that Mark Robbins has done, their manager, is absolutely unbelievable. He joined the club back again for his second spell in March 2017. They were relegated that season he joined, but obviously joined late on in the season. He couldn't keep them up. But straight away, his first full season, he got them promoted from League Two through the playoffs after finishing 6th. The season after that, their first season in League One, they finished 8th. The second season in League One, back in the 2019-2020 season, they won the division. And then in the Championship, they finished 12th. They finished 16th, 12th, and then 5th last season. So he has literally just kept taking them up, and up. And the next step would be promotion to the Premier League, but that might not be realistic. So that upwards trajectory might be starting to kind of even itself out and go straight. But a team like Coventry to be staying in the Championship would be, very decent. Keep it solid. Don't try and overestimate what you can do. Just try and at least stay in this very, very challenging division. It really is the Championship. It's a really good division every year, but especially this season, the size of clubs in the league is scary. It's a difficult one to survive in, and it's definitely a difficult one to get out of as well. So if you are one of the leading sides, then it'll be a very impressive season to get promoted, especially for the likes of Ipswich, who only came up last season from League One. Can West Brom pick up their second away win of the season? Their other one came at Preston. 4-0 it was as well at Preston. In the end, that was when Preston was right up the table in third spot. But they've only won once away from home, which is not good enough for West Brom. They need to have a better away record. They have been gifted their goal through the mistake of Ben Wilson. And they want to get back in the Premier League, West Brom. It's simple as that. They were in the Premier League from 2010 to 2018 and then came back for the 21-22 season, but then were relegated that year in 19th spot. Sorry, we were back in the Premier League for the 2020-2021 season. We were relegated 19th after Sam Allardyce came in late to try and keep them up. But even his magic couldn't keep the Baggies up. So they've had 2 seasons now in the Championship where they finished 10th and 9th. And this season they'll want to do a little bit better and finally reach those playoff spots if possible. As the West Brom side are now entering the field for this second half. Coventry were already out ready. West Brom have now just entered. We've got another 45 or so minutes of football to play in this last game on this Championship game week. It's game week 14 already. Interesting to note as well that West Brom's midweek game was played on Tuesday and Coventry's was on Wednesday. So a day extra for West Brom to prepare for this one after their 2-0 home win against QPR on that Tuesday night. Goals from Thomas Asante from the spot and also Diangana, who's scored tonight as well. As both sides are ready to get underway for the second half. Peter Banks will blow the whistle. It'll be Coventry kicking right to left. West Brom left to right. So it'll be Coventry attacking towards the West Brom supporters as Allen goes into the centre circle with Sheaf. Lays it off to Eccles, across to the left to Kitchen. Back to the last man back for Coventry, and that's McFadzean. High ball out to the right, looking for Van Evik, who misses out the header against Phillips, and it'll be a throw-in for West Brom midway inside of their own half as we are back underway now for the second 45. And there is Mark Robbins, who's took charge of his 300th Championship game against Rotherham in that loss. He's also on 100 Championship wins as a manager. As he sides on the ball back here through Sheaf, and it's now out to the left looking for De Silva. It's a touch out of play from Pipa, and it'll be a throw in here for the team in Sky Blue. And it's now with Liam Kitchen, the left centre half, on this near side. Midway inside the West Brom half, he goes back to McFadzean. Back out to the left, it goes here to Sheaf. Allen, 1-2 with Sheaf. Sakamoto, 1-2 with Sheaf. And then the Sheaf header goes wide of its target, and Diangana picks it up to Jed Wallace, who's been brought down in the centre circle by McFadzean, but the referee sees it as a fair challenge. I think Jed Wallace honestly just ran into McFadzean. I don't think there was any foul in there, and it's now Coventry back in possession. It looks like we're going to pick up where we left off, where ever since the West Brom goal in the 17th minute, it was all Coventry. I think we're going to get the same pattern of play again, for the moment anyway, as Sakamoto touches it out wide left to De Silva, who tries to drive on the inside from the Coventry left, and he just about shifts it back behind him to Eccles, who clips the ball out wide right to Van Evik. He's been forced back after pressure from Phillips to the halfway line to Thomas. It's now out to Liam Kitchen in the centre circle. He has got Sakamoto in front of him. He decides to try and go for Hadji right instead, but it's been picked up by Mowat, who tries to go down the West Brom right, looking for the run of Jed Wallace, who's pretty isolated up there, the West Brom number 7, and he can lose out there to Liam Kitchen. That's with Bobby Thomas, the centre-half, who played for Everton and Crewe during his youth days. It's his first ever season playing in the Championship. Bobby Thomas spent last season out on loan at 2 different League One clubs. His Sheaf, 1-2 with Van Evik, can't get there ahead of Eric Peters, and it'll be a throw for Coventry deep in the West Brom half, just 10 yards away from the corner flag, as he throws it here into Sheaf, who's going towards this corner flag, lays it back off to Van Evik, who's right on the corner flag here. Tackled by Diangana, kept in by Phillips. He'll drive forward and kick the ball off Sheaf, but he stays in. And Coventry now have it with Thomas. Tries to go inside. It does drop in the end to Sheaf. Now Allen on the edge of the box. Tackled fairly by Yokoshlu. Then out wide left it goes to Diangana. Midway inside his own half. He nutmegs Sakamoto, but tackled fairly by Van Evik. And in front of the Coventry technical area on the far side, it'll be a West Brom throw-in. The last win at Coventry for West Brom was 4 meetings ago. Back in December of 2021, West Brom won at this ground 2-1. It was a McFadzean own goal, which put West Brom 2-0 up that day. And then McFadzean also got a late goal to half the deficit for 2-1. But West Brom were able to see that out. So they haven't won here for just under 2 years. They've played each other 16 times previously in the 21st century, with 4 Coventry wins, 3 of them at home in 2003, 2017 and 2022. 2 draws in 09 and 22, and then 10 West Brom wins in that run. As it's now with Yokoshlu inside his own half for West Brom on the right-hand side, lifting it into the path of Pieper, who's tackled strongly but fairly by Sheaf. It's now back with Coventry. Sheaf on the ball, forward to Sakamoto, turning nicely, edge of the box on the left side. He plays into the box looking for Jamie Allen. The clearance is scuffed by Peters, but it's hooked away by Phillips, and it will drop in the end to Jed Wallace. And he's been chased down here by Bobby Thomas as Jed Wallace gets beyond the halfway line. He's looking towards the right side. He slows it down and goes to the left instead to Diangana. And Coventry can get players back, and West Brom just opt to keep possession instead on the halfway line as the forward ball from Peters finds Yokoshlu. Now with Phillips playing it back in the end to Diangana, who's just sitting deeper here for West Brom as he plays it forward to Yokoshlu. Midway inside the Coventry half, he goes back and to the right side to Alex Mowat, who now finds Chalobah. Pickpocketed there by Sheaf, but then he wins it back off him. Chalobah regaining the ball after losing out the first time. It's now with Mowat, wanting to go forward, but the option's not really there, so he goes across to Yokoshlu, who goes left once more to Peters. It's now with Diangana, one-on-one with Sakamoto. Tries to take the Japanese international on, and he's tackled by Sakamoto, but he'll let the ball run through for a throw-in. Towards the final third here is West Brom are going to make a change. Not yet, but it's getting readied. And it's going to be a recognised striker in Brandon Thomas Asante, who got his 3rd goal of the season in the Championship against QPR in the last game. Also did score in West Brom's 2-1 loss in the League Cup to Stoke. It's now with Phillips in a left wing position where he is more known for in his career. Lays it back to Eric Peters, whose cross is very deep and it goes out of the box, and Chalobah will give chase and he'll keep the ball in towards Pieper, but the pass is just a bit wayward and it's picked up by Jamie Allen on the edge of the 18-yard box. Midfadzian goes back to Ben Wilson, who's panicking a bit here in his 6-yard box, being pressed by Jed Wallace, but he shifts it to right centre half Bobby Thomas, who clears low, forward, looking for Sakamoto, met by Bartley on halfway, whose clearance goes all the way back to Bobby Thomas in the 18-yard box. And Coventry can build from the back. They have struggled since their goal, West Brom, sticking it up front. You know, they can't find Jed Wallace, so they're going to go for an out striker to try and maybe cure that. As a ball through has been deflected to Hadji, right edge of the box. He tries to finish and goes wide. The American's got to score. He's scored twice already this season, both in wins at home, and he's got to score there. The ball's played through here, looking for Sakamoto in the centre circle, but the slide tackle to try and intercept it plays it right in behind. It's from Alex Mowat, who slide tackles the ball back into his own half, and it ends up being a perfect through ball for Hadji Wright. As it goes in behind Kyle Bartley, Hadji Wright gets there first, and on the right foot, instead of opening up, going to the far corner, he tried to just whip it towards the bottom left corner, and he struck it wide, and he has to score. It remains Coventry 0, West Brom 1, as West Brom are sacrificing one of their midfielders, and it's going to be Nathaniel Chalobah, and Brandon Thomas Asante comes on in his place, the number 21, formerly of Salford. Thomas Asante joined last season from the League 2 side for £300,000. But Hadji Wright on the other end for Coventry needed to score that, as Alex Mowat, good slide tackle to keep the ball for West Brom as they play out from the back. And he goes forward into the centre circle to Jed Wallace. Out to the right it goes now to Pippa. He looks for Thomas Asante and he finds him. He lays it off to the right to Wallace. Heavy touch in front of him. Can he get around Liam Kitchen? No, he can't. But he will win a corner. See now to play there from the former Barnsley centre half. But it just looks more natural already for West Brom, having Thomas Asante as the vocal point and having the likes of Diangana and Jed Wallace running off of him on the left and right side for West Brom. But Hadji Wright will be looking back at that and knowing he should have scored that. It was really fortunate the way it went through. Obviously, it wasn't the intention of Alex Mowat to slide tackle the ball back into his own half, creating a perfect through ball, but that's where the ball ended up, and it didn't end up in the back of the net, no. Phillips outswinger on this near side, and it's a header won by Bartley. It's a block in the box and cleared by Ben Sheaf up to the halfway line. Looking for Sakamoto, who's been pulled down there by Pippa, and it will definitely be a free kick for Coventry, just inside their own half. Probably a smart foul there from Pippa because Coventry were on the counter there, especially with Sakamoto, who's quite dangerous when he gets on the ball. The Tokyo-born midfielder. It's already been taken. Van Evik putting a ball into the box, header won by Kipre, and he'll head it back to where it came from, out for a throw in for Coventry, midway inside the West Brom half. 3 wins in the last 10 for Coventry against West Brom between 2007 and 2023. So they're not always liking this fixture, usually. Coventry's Van Evik gives it away with a poor touch to Phillips. Forward to Thomas Asante on the halfway line. Overruns it, met by a strong challenge from McFadzean. And it can now be brought forward by Ben Sheaf. He's looking out to the right-hand side and he now finds Eccles. Sakamoto's furthest right and he'll play it through towards him, but it's slide tackle from Peters, clears it towards Jed Wallace. He plays down the line for Thomas Asante and he gets the return to him. Really good link-up play. Dean Garner's in behind on the right. If he can find him, he tries to. But as he releases it there, he's been tackled from behind. And it'll be a yellow card for Van Evik. Just as he released the ball there, Wallace, it was a misplaced pass, but as he released it, he was brought down quite cynically with a slide tackle from Van Evik. No complaints, 10 minutes into the second half. Still 1-0 West Brom. Van Evik with his first yellow of the season in the Championship. But definitely a good change from Carlos Corberan to bring on Thomas Asante so he can link up with the likes of Jed Wallace, which they've done a couple of times already, as Alex Mowat can't get on that short ball from Eric Peters. It'll be a free kick for Coventry. Not really Alex Mowat's fault there, to be honest. Poor ball from Peters. Gave Mowat a lot to do, and he couldn't keep it. And he slide tackled and fouled. And Coventry have it on their far left-hand side here, on the near side with De Silva on halfway. Goes inside to the right to centre-half Liam Kitchen, and he goes across as well to Bobby Thomas. Ball forward towards Sakamoto, cut out by Peters, and it drops to Thomas Asante on halfway. Dean Garner charging down the right side. He's going to look for him in behind. Has he timed the run right? No, he hasn't. Flags up. And he doesn't finish it anyway. Wilson equal to the strike. I think Thomas Asante just has to commit to the pass a bit earlier. So Dean Garner's not offside. He had it for a while, Asante. Could have played it sooner, and then just too late. And in the end, as Dean Garner entered the box, he got the shot towards the far post, but it was saved anyway. But Thomas Asante is definitely going to play that earlier. But West Brom do look a lot more dangerous now with a recognised striker. As it's now Coventry on the ball. They still want to try and get this goal to get back in the game. They want to keep their unbeaten record at home, which they've got so far this season, after 6 games. Sheaf brought down there, surely by Peters, midway inside the West Brom half on the right-hand side, and it's a good place for Coventry to have a free kick here. It's a good angle to get the cross into the box. Ask some questions here of this West Brom defence that has been so strong as of late. West Brom did start really slow last year. 1 win in their first 13, 2 in the first 17 when Steve Bruce was sacked after 13 games. But then once Corberan was brought in, it was 9 wins from 10 between November and January. And the one loss they got in that run, 9 wins in 10, was against Coventry away in that 1-0 loss. As the ball from the free kick is chipped right into the hands of the goalkeeper, Alex Palmer. Literally, if Alex Palmer, the goalkeeper, said, right, cross the ball here because I'll catch it, he would have exactly put it where he just caught the ball. Really wasteful from Coventry, and it's West Brom again on the ball. It's inside their own half here, playing out from the back with Cedric Kipre, the Ivorian centre-back who spent last season on loan at Cardiff, was once on the books of PSG and Leicester. As Yakoshlu gives it away, Sheaf lifts it towards Hadji right in the box, but it's well intercepted by Cedric Kipre, and it's avoided the corner by goalkeeper Palmer. And it falls here to Jed Wallace, who's in a left wing-back position. He goes to the edge of the box here, and cleared by Bartley up towards Thomas Asante, who can't keep it for West Brom. Back in Coventry, possession on the halfway line. There's now Eccles, 10 yards inside the West Brom half. He's got Sheaf as an option. He gives it to him, then gets the return. It's now with Bobby Thomas, just in front of the 2 technical areas. Tries to play a ball around the corner. Blocked by Wallace. Throwing for Coventry. Wonder when Coventry will look towards the bench for a change of their own. As they still search for this goal. Over half an hour to play though, so they have got time. As I've got it inside their own half here on the right side with Bobby Thomas. Forward to the halfway line to Sakamoto. Goes back into the path of Thomas. It's now with Sheaf, the 25-year-old midfielder. Kitchen, number 15, signed in the summer from Barnsley. Goes back inside to Sheaf, isn't they now enter the West Brom half. He goes out to the right now to Eccles. He goes to furthest right. And that is Van Evik. 1-on-1 with Phillips again. A battle that happened many times in the first half. Not as much in the second. His first cross has been deflected away to Sakamoto, so Coventry still have it. He's now back out with Van Evik. Inside to Sakamoto. 22 yards from goal. All West Brom players, though, behind the ball. Really defending strongly here, the away side. Van Evik again. Goes inside to Eccles on the edge of the box. Goes backwards to keep the ball here. And it's now with McFadzean who drives forward. And plays it out again to the right to Van Evik. And McFadzean's carried on his run here. The centre-half's in the box. As Van Evik drives on the inside. Plays it off to Eccles. Sheaf looks for the run of... looks for McFadzean for a 1-2. But it goes behind the captain. And he's out of position. And Diangana charges away. He tries to get away from the challenge of Eccles. And he does do so. And he plays it through to Thomas Asante. Who, in the box, had the pass intercepted by, I think it was Liam Kitchen. It was an important slide tackle because if Thomas Asante had got the ball in the box there ahead of him, he was in for a one-on-one shot. Diangana charging away, played the ball probably at the right time as he was getting away from the challenge of Eccles. And just inside the 18-yard box, it was Bobby Thomas with the slide tackle to avoid the ball going to Thomas Asante. As Phillips has it in the left-back position here for West Brom. Plays it into Peters, who gets it out to the left here to Wallace. Forward to Thomas Asante. He dropped deep into the West Brom half. Lays it off into Mowat, whose ball down the left channel is met by nobody. And it can be recycled now for Coventry, and it'll be brought forward here by Liam Kitchen. It's now with Kyle McFadzean, who was a part of that Coventry team who won League One in 2020. He's been at the club since 2019. Signed on a free from Burton. Contract expires at the end of this season. Signed a year extension in February of this year. As they've given the ball away midfield here, Coventry. It's now with Asante passing the halfway line. And he plays the ball back into his own half with Diangana, who has to run back to get it, as it was a bit of a misplaced pass there from Thomas Asante. But Diangana has still got it here on the right-hand side. Not really rushing to get it forward here, West Brom. With Diangana switching it out towards the left side here on halfway to Wallace. It's now with number 15, Eric Peters, who last scored a goal in January of 2020 in the FA Cup for Burnley against Norwich. It was a 2-1 loss in the end. The 35-year-old not got on the score sheet for a while, which you wouldn't expect. He is made a central defender. Usually, in his majority of his career, Eric Peters was a left back, but the older he's got, he's been converted into a centre half. As it is still West Brom in possession here, inside the centre circle of Alex Mowat. It's now Coventry's turn to just set up defensively to not leak a second goal, which will make the job a lot harder for them to try and gain any kind of points from this fixture. It's kick prey inside their own half. It's Mowat, who's been tackled strongly by Sakamoto. Advantage played as he takes it away from the Japanese international. And the ball out wide right there from Pippa has been cut out. And then they lose it again in midfield in the centre circle. Ben Sheaf didn't quite see Thomas Asante chasing him from behind. It's now back in Baggy's possession. With Yokoshalu on halfway. He's going to have to be forced back here, and he will play it backwards to Peters. He'll play it forward. Looking here for Wallace. It deflects in the end out left to Phillips. It's fortunate, but they'll take it. Phillips enters the box on the left side, pulls it back to the edge, and it'll fall here to Pippa, who strikes. It's a blocked shot, and it'll drop again out towards Phillips, but it's hooked away by Sheaf. Chance for the Spaniard there, Pippa. It was Jed Wallace who deflected the ball off the knee of a Coventry man, and it was straight into the path of Phillips. Not intended, but it worked. And Phillips, as he went down the left, he entered the box, pulled it back to the edge where Pippa striked, and his shot was blocked. It's going to be a West Brom substitute again here. It's going to be Jed Wallace, the captain, coming off. He plays a lot of football, the captain. And I think, once again, they're going to go a bit more defensive here, West Brom. So Jed Wallace, who's usually an attacking winger, comes off the left wing back. Connor Townsend. So I think Phillips will go further forward, because number 10 Phillips is usually more of an attacker than a wing back, but this season he's been used as a wing back for the majority of the season. But he'll get the last half an hour or so to play more attacking Matt Phillips, and Connor Townsend, the Englishman, will go as a wing-back as Van Ewijk wins the free kick there in a defensive position off Connor Townsend. I think Coventry are wanting to make a double change of their own soon. We'll have to see who comes on and off. Will the change be made now? Are they going to make the change? I don't know. Bit of discussion there between fourth official Rebecca Welch and Mark Robbins, because he's asking why isn't the substitutes being made, and they're not going to be made. Being a bit too slow there, the fourth official. Needs to be quicker. I think it's Callum O'Hare and Joel Latibaldia to come on for Coventry. Not yet, though. They've had to wait a little bit longer as Eccles plays it forward to Allen. Back out to the halfway line. Furthest right is Van Ewijk. It's now back here again with Thomas. Inside to Sheaf on halfway. Thomas again, just inside his own half here. All West Brom players behind the ball. McFadzean to the right again to Thomas. Going to go for a big switch out to the left side here in the final third. It's had to be cut out from the head of Pippa. And it will be a throw for Coventry deep in the West Brom half. It's really good play there from Bobby Thomas with the switch. And now the change will be made. Number 4, Bobby Thomas, who's had a bit of a shaky game, especially the first 10 or so minutes. He was shaky, but Bobby Thomas will be replaced by number 22, Joel Latibaldia, who has only started one of the last 4 games now for Coventry. But he comes on to replace Bobby Thomas, and a man who's worked his absolute socks off, Milan Van Ewijk, the wing-back, will be replaced by number 10, Callum O'Hare, who makes a return to Coventry's home stadium. He's returning from an ACL injury that he picked up in December of last year. He made his return against Rotherham in the week in the 74th minute, but this is his return back on the pitch of the CBS Stadium. And can he make a difference? Number 10, Callum O'Hare, who is such a dangerous player on his day. Very unfortunate last season, to be fair. He missed the first 12 games with a hamstring injury, then played only 11 Championship games, and then went out with an ACL injury. And he returns now after 9-10 months injured. And here he is on the ball on halfway, on the left-hand side for Coventry. De Silva goes back to Kitchen. Midway inside their own half here is McFadzean to Latibaldia, who was signed from Swansea in the summer. It's now Eccles. Down the right channel, Hadji Wright's onside, referee. He's definitely onside. The assistant referee's flagged midway inside the West Brom half. I believe the American was onside there. I mean, watch me be wrong with the replay, but I think he's just timed that right. I think he's onside. Poor decision there from the linesman. And the home supporters just behind him let him know that his decision was wrong. As we've got a quarter of the game left. We've just passed the 67th minute. Still 1-0. Booking for Kyle Bartley. Time wasting. Taking too long over the free kick. Second booking of the season for Kyle Bartley. He was making his 225th Championship appearance, the 32-year-old. Who also struggled last season for games due to injury. Kyle Bartley. From the free kick, West Brom have won a throw-in midway inside the Coventry half on the far side with Connor Townsend to take, who's come on off the bench, the left wing back. He missed West Brom's last game, wasn't in the matchday squad, Connor Townsend, but now he's back. As Thomas Asante loses out there, I think, to McFadzean, and Latibaldia headed it back to Wilson in the Coventry goal, and now they can play out from the back. So Sheaf run up towards the halfway lines. West Brom get players back. So Latibaldia, who play it to the right side to Sakamoto, who I think's taken up a right wing back position. The Japanese Tokyo-born Coventry player. It's back inside their own half, just passes the halfway line. Latibaldia and plays a ball forward to Allen, who's ball out to the right into the path, looking for Josh Eccles. Just goes out of play. Too heavy of a pass there from Jamie Allen, who missed a bit of pre-season for Coventry due to having a heart issue in the summer. It was an inflammation around the heart that was picked up during a scan on his heart. So he missed a little bit at the start of this start of pre-season, and he's only making his 6th appearance so far this season, all in the Championship. As Phillips, ball around the corner and behind for Thomas Asante. Flags have got to come up. It's not come up. Brandon Thomas Asante! That is a beautiful finish. He's come off the bench to score again. He scored in their last game against QPR, just like Dean Garner. And now he scores tonight against Coventry. A flag was expected to go up. The flag never did. And West Brom double their lead. It's a delicious outside the boot ball and behind by Matt Phillips. I think he delivered the pass from in his own half. He did on the left side, around the corner. Oh, it's close. McFadzean stopped in his tracks to try and catch Brandon Thomas Asante offside. But as the ball was played, Thomas Asante let the ball come across his body. One touch, opened up the body. He was on the left side of the box. So on his stronger right foot, opened it up and bent it into the top right corner. It is clinical. And it's a lead that West Brom have earned through hard work and really being solid defensively once again. If they keep a clean sheet tonight, West Brom, it is 7 clean sheets in their last 9 games. That is seriously impressive. But that finish from Thomas Asante is gorgeous. And offside or not, it's a goal. And Coventry now have got a bigger mountain to climb. With 20 minutes plus added on time, it's Coventry 0, West Brom 2. Thomas Asante with a good finish. Really is from Thomas Asante. 4 for the season. He's got 2 in his last 2. He also scored in games against Leeds and Middlesbrough earlier on in the campaign. But that ball through from Phillips was really good. And it's just a question of if he was offside. It was a close one as McFadzean was the one playing him on, if anyone was playing him onside. But it looks like West Brom will be giving Coventry their first home defeat of the season. There's a little bit of afters going on here. As the ball went out of play, Dean Garner was pushed into the advertisement boards by Liam Kitchen. And he's just making his way back on the pitch now. I think the referee, Peter Banks, he's got the yellow out. Don't know who for, actually. It's not Liam Kitchen. Is it Liam Kitchen? I don't know. Peter Banks, the referee, is looking everywhere. I don't know who he wants to have a word with. Liam Kitchen is the one to have a word. And he's also going to have a word with Yokoshlu, who I don't think was happy with the fact that Liam Kitchen pushed him into the advertisement boards. So Liam Kitchen booked for his push and Yokoshlu booked for his reaction. Yeah, Dean Garner just being forced out wide and his touch was too heavy, so went out of play. And then he was pushed into the advertisement boards by Liam Kitchen. It was a little bit unnecessary, really, from Liam Kitchen. So he deserves the yellow card. And I can also see why Yokoshlu reacted, to be honest, because it is unnecessary and it can be dangerous pushing a player into the advertisement boards, which we've seen a few times in the past where injuries have been picked up because of that. So, yellow card apiece. It's Coventry on the ball where they were. Wilson's poor pass out to Lati Baldia, picked up by Phillips in the West Brom final third. He drives in the box, wants to go on his right foot. He's tackled by Lati Baldia and a clinch by Sakamoto, which is headed backwards by West Brom to Kipre, who then shifts it out wide left to Connor Townsend, who touches it down with the head, then heads it on into Alex Mowat as Townsend played the header to Mowat, who then took a heavy touch and lost the ball. He was pushed to the ground, so it's a free kick for West Brom. I think it was given away there by Sakamoto. But there needs to be more replays of that Thomas Asante finish. Picking it up on the left side of the box. Thierry Henry fashion. It's really tight if he's onside or not. The angle they're giving isn't great, so it's not really one where you can, definitely tell if he's on or not. But from around, 8 or 9 yards out, the Keeper came to try and close the angle, but he's whipped it top corner. Beautiful. Top right. That's what you love to see from a striker, to finish with so much confidence. Scored from the spot in the last game. He scored from in the box in this game. And it's Peters forward to Thomas Asante. Tries to lay it off into the path of Townsend, but it's Sakamoto who picked up the ball. It's a free kick, I think, for an offside. But Sakamoto rouletted past Peters then and got brought down, but the player was brought back for the free kick for the offside instead. 16 minutes ago. Plus added on time. Another booking here for Peter Banks, giving out, I think it's to Alex Mowat. This would put West Brom in 5th. Point behind Southampton in 4th, 2 behind Leeds in 2nd, and then 11 behind Ipswich. Leeds in 3rd, and 11 behind Ipswich in 2nd, who have also got a game in hand on West Brom as well. So they're very much settled in the playoff positions if they keep this result tonight. West Brom, as Yokoshlu feeds it out to the left of Phillips, halfway inside the Coventry half. He goes for an early cross. It deflects him towards Thomas Asante, who goes for the kick. It's caught by Ben Wilson, who will roll it out quickly to Sheaf. He's looking out to the left side. He'll find De Silva, 10 yards away from the halfway line. He has to go back into the path of Kitchen. And it's now with Eccles. It's now De Silva, exactly on halfway. Lays it off to the right to Eccles again. Sheaf. Back to McFadzean, then forward to Lati Baudia, who will drive forward from centre half. Drive inside as well. And then shift out to the left to De Silva. In the final third towards the byline. He fakes the first cross, then whips it towards the near post. And it's well caught by Palmer. He will drop on the ball. And again, West Brom showing why they have got one of the best defences in the league currently. On current form anyway. They have been poor away from home though. West Brom only 1 win so far. 3 draws, 2 losses. But that could change tonight. As Coventry are going to make a double change here as Pippa gives the ball away. Hadji right now on the left-hand side. Driving inside, edge of the box. Few step overs. Plays the ball across towards, I think it was Sheaf. His pass towards Allen was really poor. Cleared by West Brom. As it's Thomas Asante to play out to the left towards Mowat. He'll be beaten to it there by Kitchen. He'll go back towards McFadzean, but it's Thomas Asante to nip in first to get there. He charges away, enters the box. Diangana's across goal. He cuts inside instead. Can he pull the shot? 12 yards out. He blasts over the bar. Diangana was waiting for the pass that never came. Thomas Asante took it on his own. Really well done, though, from Thomas Asante to win the ball. Off McFadzean. Poor pass back from Kitchen. And as he entered the box, similar areas from when he scored on the left side of the box. Took it past Sheaf. And as he shot, he was just slightly off balance. And it was always rising over the crossbar. This Coventry are going to make a double change with 13 minutes to go plus 7 on time. Matt Godden will be the first player to come on. And he'll replace Jamie Allen. And Hadji Wright, who has not quite had his night, is replaced by Ellis Sims, who was brought in from Everton on a permanent transfer for £3.5 million. And then add-ons, which could make that fee rise to £8 million. Just the 2 goals so far this season for Ellis Sims, and they both came in an away win against QPR in late September. So he's not been quite scoring often enough, Ellis Sims. Matt Godden, the other change, he scored 5 times. As the ball forward towards O'Hare. It's been cut out by Kipre, but then he loses it to O'Hare. It's now De Silva. Godden in the left wing position, wins the throw-in. And takes a quick throw-in looking for O'Hare in the box, which cut out by Kipre. It'll drop to Diangana, who will be dispossessed here by Sheaf on the Coventry left. Good midfield play here by the number 14. Now Eccles out to the right to Lati Baudia. It's now with Sakamoto, who's took up a right wing-back position. Cuts onto his left foot, chops back onto his right. Needs to get the crossing, it's a low one. It's controlled in the end by Mowat for West Brom. And cleared down the left-hand side. Thomas Asante is nowhere to be seen. So the ball will go right through to Ben Wilson in the Coventry goal, who's adventured well outside of his box to keep the ball moving here for Coventry. Just 1 goal, and the game can turn on its head. They just need to halve that deficit to have a chance, but the goal needs to come soon. Dinked ball over the top, down the left-hand side for Coventry. It'll be kept in here by Matt Godden, the substitute. He'll run towards the corner flag. He'll play a ball inside here to O'Hare. It's now De Silva inside to Sheaf, 22 yards from goal. He curls it towards the far post where Sakamoto forces Connor Townsend to head the ball backwards. And Eric Peters clears to avoid the corner. Again, straight back to McFadzean, who's last man back for Coventry on the halfway line. Play it forward to Eccles. He's going to play it down the line to O'Hare. Sakamoto, forward to Sims, nods it out to the right to Eccles. Back inside to O'Hare. Good touch, and he's brought down in the box. Penalty waved away. Peter Banks confident it's not a penalty. West Brom clear down the line, but it's not good enough. Lati Baldia forward to O'Hare. Back out to the right to Sakamoto. Tries to take on Townsend and mow it, but runs out of room. It's a goal kick. Callum O'Hare asking for that penalty. Let's have a look as Eccles played it inside towards him. It was Yokoshlu, the one who clattered into him. Peter Banks just said it was a collision between the two. I think he's looking for it, O'Hare, leaving his legs dangling to try and create some contact. Peter Banks had a really good view. And waved the penalty shout away as 10 minutes plus added on time. Sheaf forward to O'Hare, midway inside the West Brom half. He's got a bit of room here, running towards the edge of the box. Looks for Godden, it deflects in towards Sims though. Cleared, sliced by Yokoshlu out to the right hand side to Sakamoto. Wants to cross it towards the far post with his left foot, but he overcooks it completely. And it will be a goal kick for West Brom. Not good enough there by Sakamoto, as West Brom are going to make 3 changes here. The first one is going to be number 27 to come off, and that is Alex Mowat. And he will be replaced by, I believe, number 8, Jason Malumbi. Joined from Brighton last season for just under £1 million. That'll be the first change. And then Pippa, the Spaniard, who made his first start for his new club West Brom on loan from Ludogorets. He'll be replaced by usual starting right wing back Darnell Furlong. And the goal scorer of the first goal in the 17th minute, scored in his last game as well, before tonight against QPR, Grady Diangana. He'll be replaced up front by number 31, Tom Fellows, who's making his 4th appearance, all off the bench in the last 4 games that West Brom have played. He joined the club at under 10s level. He's now at the age of 20. Spent last season on loan in League 2 with Crawley. And now he's making his 13th first team appearance. Tom Fellows. So triple change for West Brom with just under 10 minutes to go now. It's Lati Baldio on the ball in the Coventry half. Goes out to the right here to Sakamoto, the number 7 for Coventry. Brought in this summer from Oostend in Belgium for £1.2 million. Sims out to the right again to find Sakamoto. Midway inside the opposition half. It's going to have to take a lot for Coventry to even get a goal tonight. Lati Baldia driving forward. Playing it to the left here to Kitchen. Goes once more forward to Sheaf. Edge of the box. Out to the left is De Silva. First time low ball in. Met by the foot of Malumbi. And Tom Fellows clears. Chases his own clearance, but the ball runs out of play on halfway. That'll be a Coventry throw-in as they still try and knock down this West Brom defence, which has been set up brilliantly by head coach Carlos Corberán, only the age of 40. The Spaniard who took Huddersfield to the playoffs in the 21-22 season where they finished 3rd, but were beaten in the playoff final by Nottingham Forest. Then had a failed spell at Olympiacos. Carlos Corberán was there in August 22 and was sacked in the September. Only managed 11 games in Greece for Olympiacos. Carlos Corberán before returning to England with West Brom in October of last year, managing his 48th game for the club, so nearly at 50 for Carlos Corberán. As it's gone into the Coventry half with a clearance by Alex Palmer, the West Brom goalkeeper. It'll be seen through here by Lati Baldia, who will go back to his goalkeeper Wilson, who clears first time in his 6-yard box. Looking for O'Hare. Header won though in the end by Yokoshlu. It's now a Furlong down the line looking for Fellows, who will get there ahead of Kitchen. In the final third, he enters the box here. Does he want to shoot? He'll lay it off instead to Asante. Thomas Asante, who's looking to shoot himself, but he's got loads of blue shirts around him, and he loses out to Callum O'Hare in the end, who will drive forward. He's looking to the Coventry left, and he'll overhit it on halfway. He was looking for De Silva, but the pass was too far in front of him. And it's a throw-in for West Brom, which they will not rush to take at all, which you can definitely understand. They are missing some key players of their own as well. West Brom. John Swift is out for another 4 weeks. who is their top goal scorer this season with 6. He's out. Sarmiento, who's on loan from Brighton, he's out for another week with a muscle. Dal DK is out with an Achilles injury. He's been out since April. Josh Madger, a new striker they brought in, he's also out for another 4 weeks with an ankle injury. So West Brom have got their players missing, but they're making it work. As Kit Prey clears in the centre circle for West Brom, straight into the Coventry 18-yard box of Wilson, who rolls out quickly. And it's now out to the right side here to Eccles, forward to Sims. Sakamoto in the final third here. He's been forced backwards by Connor Townsend. They play a ball into Lati Baldia, who came off the bench for Coventry. Kitchen forward to Godden, lays it off to Sakamoto. Sheaf in the D on the edge of the box. Godden in the box, trying to work some space. Works out to the left of De Silva. Back into the edge of the box to Kitchen, who swings it in. It's Sims who misses out. Punched away. Eccles tries the volley. Loops in the air. Bartley heads away. Played back forward by Lati Baldia, and then eventually cleared by Townsend for a throw-in for Coventry, midway inside the opposition half. As it just doesn't look like this goal's coming. West Brom are too strong defensively at the minute. Could be 7 clean sheets in their last 9 if they see this one out. Ball forward in the box by McFadzean. Header won by Bartley. Kept alive by Godden towards the corner flag on the far side. He lays it off into Sakamoto. Ball in the box now to Eccles. Lays it through, looking for O'Hare. Intercepted by Yakoshlu and cleared by Townsend only for a throw-in. As Yakoshlu has gone down in the West Brom box. The Turk is holding his left hamstring. And he's going to get straight back up. Really good from Yakoshlu. I mean, in terms of slowing the play down. You know, he's not even had to get medical assistance. He's got straight back on his feet. The throw-in's been taken. It's Coventry still trying to break through on their right-hand side. Sakamoto towards the final third. He goes back midway inside the West Brom half with Lati Baldia. Pass to the left now to Kitchen. Forward to Sims in the box. Takes a touch, but then tackled by Bartley, who can then dribble it away outside the box. Needs to release it, Kyle Bartley. He doesn't. Tackled by Sakamoto. And it's now a big gap in the West Brom defence. Kyle Bartley's not there. They need to shift it quickly here. Sheaf from afar, playing out to the right to Sakamoto, who's just in the box. He's got the overlap here of Lati Baldia, who will keep the ball in on the byline. And he'll play back to the edge of the box here to Sheaf. Here he is. Can he put the cross in here, Sheaf, on the edge of the box? He does with the left foot, and straight into the hands of Alex Palmer. That is a shocking delivery from Ben Sheaf. Do not get me wrong, Ben Sheaf and Josh Eccles in that midfield for Coventry have worked their absolute socks off. But in terms of their creative play, it just has not been good enough for Coventry. Hence why they have still not scored this game tonight. Three minutes to go, plus additional time. It looks like in this Midlands derby, it will be West Brom to take the 3 points. The last league double they ever did over Coventry was in the 06-07 season. See if they can do it this time out. They've already won the away fixture, it seems. And then they'll have to try and win the reverse fixture later on in the season. As Coventry do have it back with McFadzean misplacing the ball on halfway, but it's cleared by Eric Peters only as far as Liam Kitchen for Coventry inside his own half. He goes out to the left here to De Silva. Halfway line is Eccles. Plays a pass to his right to Sheaf. Now Lati Baldia. Sheaf. Forward to O'Hare. He dummies it to Godden. Touch and strike. It deflects wide. Corner. Got the shot away just into the box. Godden looking for the far corner with the right-footed shot. Looking for the bottom left corner. Good dummy by O'Hare. Touch and shot by Godden just on the 18-yard line, but it was a good block by a sliding Cedric Kipre. Ball into the box. It's a header one and it's wide. Header quite far out. I think about 14 yards out. It's just a couple of yards behind the penalty spot from Ben Sheaf. And it was quite a few yards wide in the end from the midfielder. It's not quite working out tonight for Coventry. And Mark Robbins has got some thinking to do. But Carlos Corberan will be delighted. Thomas Asante has the ball here on the West Brom right from the goal kick. It's now a throw-in as Malumbi kicks the ball off to Silva for a throw-in on this near side for the Baggies, as they've got 1 minute of the 90 to play. Next commentary on this channel is Manchester United taking on Newcastle in the League Cup 4th round, 8:15 on Wednesday night. Make sure you're here for that. And then a women's football double-header on Sunday. Arsenal, Man City women at 12:30, and Brighton, Man United women at 6:45. That's on Sunday this weekend. Sakamoto for Coventry, midway inside his own half. It's not the half he needs to be in, but the ball forward to Callum O'Hare gets them into the West Brom half. He's chasing it down. It won't be Eric Peters to it. Throwing for the home side. Thrown into O'Hare. Still on the right. Tries to go inside into the box looking for Godden, but he's lost out there to Peters and pulls down the Dutch defender. And it'll be a free kick for West Brom in their 18-yard box. Coventry goal, yeah, I really believe that. They've struggled a little bit. Fourth official puts 4 minutes up for added time, so the home side are really running out of time, and it looks like they are going to be beaten for the first time at home. It's a difficult place to come, and West Brom have made it look pretty easy overall, riding the Coventry Storms that they've tried to put on West Brom. As they have a throw in here midway inside the Coventry half. That's where they want to be, inside the opposition half, killing the time, wanting and gaining the 3 points. Townsend throws it towards the corner flag for Thomas Asante to bring down. He's got Lati Baldia trying to take the ball off him, and Sakamoto. He's keeping it in the corner well though here, Thomas Asante, and it's poked out for another throw in right on the corner flag. Really good attacking play from Thomas Asante. You put West Brom 2 goals to the good, scoring his 14th goal for the club in his 48th appearance for them. He got 7 last season in the Championship. He's already on 4, and we're only in late October. There's Phillips from the throw-in. Loses out to Sakamoto. His clearance comes off Phillips, though, and back into Thomas Asante. He finds it back out wide to Townsend. And then to the left. Then it goes out for a throw-in. Phillips in the corner again. Runs out of play. Throw-in for the home side. 90 seconds of the 4 minutes played. It's Lati Baldia with the throw. Goes short into Eccles, who then clears down the Coventry right with a nice little bit of a slice. And a throw-in, I think, for West Brom. But Townsend, I think, was butt there, having a word with the referee, not happy with something. I don't really know what has happened there. I think the throw-in's going to be retaken by Lati Baldia, because Townsend was giving a bit of a mouthful to the referee. So the throw-in's taken short and cleared by McFadzean beyond the halfway line. Headed won by Kipre on Sims. Heads it into Malumbi. Into Yokoshlu on halfway. Out to the left to Phillips. First time down the left channel to Thomas Asante. He's going to aim towards the corner flag. He's been pressured here by Lati Baldia. And the last touch comes off the centre half, who represents Jamaica. Born in Doncaster, Lati Baldia, but represents Jamaica, and he's played 10 times for the country. But he's going to suffer his first ever defeat against West Brom. Lati Baldia, 3 wins in 3 against West Brom when he was at Swansea. As Yokoshlu loses out in the midfield with a header. It's now O'Hare. Gets away from Bartley. Tries to play it through towards Sims. It deflects off Kipre. And cleared away by Fellows, only as far as Kitchen on the halfway line for Coventry. Who plays a ball inside to Sheaf. Forward to O'Hare. In the final third now with De Silva. Getting forward from wing back. Back into O'Hare. Gliding the ball in. It can't be helped on by Godden. Straight down the throat of Alex Palmer. And once again the goalkeeper having easy catching practice. That's happened too many times today. The Coventry crosses haven't been good enough whatsoever. And it means they are falling to a defeat. It'll be their 5th of the season. Problem with Coventry. They've just drawn too many. They've drawn 6 already. Only won 3. 30 seconds to go. O'Hare has it for Coventry on the halfway line. He's been chased down by Yokoshlu. Gets out to the right side to Sakamoto, who's closer to his own half than the West Brom goal. which is not what you want. Eccles gets it forward to the edge to Godden, nods it down to Sims, deflects back towards Godden, header won by Kitpray in the 18-yard box. He cautiously forward pass to Thomas Asante, and he plays it out wide left to Phillips, who got the assist for the Thomas Asante goal, and he feeds it back into the striker, who then goes across towards Darnell Furlong, who heads it forward towards Fellows, who can't quite get there, ahead of, I think it was McFadzean, and the long clearance towards the edge of the box is met by Kitpray, but only as far as Sakamoto, 22 yards from goal, on his left foot, plays it out wide left to the edge of the box to De Silva, tries to play it forward to Godden, who went to make the run, then didn't make the run, ball through to the goalkeeper, and the full-time whistle is blown by referee Peter Banks. West Brom have come to Coventry and has put them down with their first defeat of the season at home. It's not an easy place to come, but West Brom have very well took the 3 points. And it's even more impressive with the fact that West Brom don't have a great away record themselves this season. Before tonight, they'd played 6 and only won 1 away at Preston, and that was a month ago. But now they've come to Coventry, give them their first home loss of the season, and has took 3 points with them on their travels. You cannot say Coventry didn't try. They had loads of possession, they had loads of crosses, they had loads of shots in the end as well, Coventry. They ended up racking up 15 shots, but only the 3 on target, which tells you the story. Alex Palmer, the goalkeeper, very rarely tested. 65% possession as well for Coventry. They really did try. They had a lot of the ball, but they're just a team lacking confidence. And they came up against the West Brom team, who have now picked up 7 clean sheets this season in the Championship. Every single one of them have come in their last 9 games. That is absolutely ridiculous. 7 clean sheets in their last 9. West Brom are looking really strong now under Carlos Corberán this season. With this system that they've got, that they play, they can play 3-5-2, they can play 3-4-3. It's flexible and it works. So West Brom push up to 5th, well into a playoff spot. They are 11 points behind Ipswich in 2nd for the automatic spot, so that's a little bit out of reach at the minute. But in terms of tonight, they've come to Coventry, they've won 2-0. They started really well. First 17 minutes of the game, when they got the goal, it was brilliant. They were on top, getting plenty of crosses in, and they got the goal for a Ben Wilson mistake in the Coventry goal, who spilled a Chalobah shot from the edge of the box straight into the Diangana, who took one touch away from the keeper and played it into an empty net. And from the 17th minute onwards, from West Brom's goal, it was all Coventry, trying it down the left side, down the right side, trying to play crosses, little balls into the box, trying to find pockets of spaces. None of it really worked in the end. Nothing came to fruition, and in the end it was just a really frustrating night for Coventry. Like I say, they really tried, but their effort wasn't enough, and they fell to a 5th defeat this season in their 14th Championship game. But West Brom go up to 5th. They've won their 6th game of the season. 2 of them have come away from home, 4 of them at the Hawthorns. And after this Monday Night Football at the CBS Stadium, it is finished Coventry 0, West Brom 2. What a performance from the away side. Got the early goal, defended well, got an extra one just for cover, give them a 2-goal lead, and they saw that through with ease. And 2-0. Then 2-0. Cheers, mate. Good commentary. Thank you very much. Like I said before, next commentary is on Wednesday. It is Manchester United at home in the 4th round of the League Cup to Newcastle. So it's a replay of the League Cup final from last season. And then 2 commentaries at the weekend, both on Sunday. It's an early kick-off of Arsenal taking on Manchester City women. That's at 12:30. And then Brighton women taking on Manchester United women at 6:45. So they're the next 3 commentaries coming up next week. Make sure you subscribe with notifications on, so you know when those live commentaries are happening, and just keep your eye out on the channel as well. But for me, that is the end of the live stream. Thanks to everyone who's come and listened and enjoyed the game. And in the end, in this Midlands derby, it's the travelling side, West Brom, who have come away with 3 points. Diangana and Thomas Asante, who got their 2 goals in their last win against QPR, have come up trumps again today in their latest win against Coventry. They have both scored in back-to-back games. They have led their side to 3 points. They move into their playoffs. And Coventry have got some working out to do. But for West Brom, they're flying high in the playoffs. Can they remain there come the end of the season? Thank you for watching, and make sure you return here on Wednesday for Manchester United against Newcastle in the League Cup 4th round.